honk.
Yes, indeed. The honk has arrived, and also one of my favorite times of the year. Maybe, I don't know, it's so hard for me to say that there's one event that's the favorite thing of all, but this has got to be up there as one of my favorite 2 or 3 things that we do on the channel every year. I can't believe that it's happened again, but it has. Welcome, everybody. It is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. It's 9:25 p.m. Eastern, and the time has come to bring you our annual holiday tradition of A Christmas Carol with the Arvocalists. That's right, the best voice team on Twitch has returned, along with multiple alumni. In fact, the alumni actually outnumber the currents right now that we've got in stream. I am very excited. This is the largest cast that we have ever had for A Christmas Carol, folks. 7 people plus me. So if you count me as part of it, 8 people bringing you A Christmas Carol. I think the best short story ever written by Charles Dickens. Extremely excited for this. And before we get there, I am just going, and I know there's some people that join us for this. I am hoping that the Ghost of Christmas Future has joins us in chat, because I always feel like that's a good thing to, you know what I mean? Like I feel like the Ghost of Christmas Future adding him to the mix is important. Just those dots. We shall see. Anyway, I'm going to zip through this quickly. I do want to mention one thing. I've already talked about this already, but if you like what you see in here today, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube at !ArvTube, Discord !ArvCord, Blue Sky !ArvSky, website arvanelaron.com, financially !ArvShop, !ArvTrayon, and subbing to the channel. And the big thing I want to mention from everybody right now is that we have 2 hours left on this promotion that I'm currently running, which is 35% off a pack of gift subs. So right now, 5 or more T1 gift subs, you get 35% off based upon a set of promotions. I'm going to be running a few of these in December. So now is the time if you were interested in getting that in. I'm running that promotion. The first one of these that we did worked pretty well, so we're doing another one. So please join us for that by subbing to the channel. On the publishing front, Icarus graphic novel from Athos Arts, Library. Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library, as I announced early on today. Tales and Tomes is now officially sold out in physical form from the publisher, so the only place you're going to find it is going to be from a distributor like a game store or a bookstore, something like that. PDFs, however, are still available, but anyway, that's very good news because it means that they've sold out completely. So now we are looking for possibly a reprint in 2026, which is exciting. But anyway, Library to get the PDF there, and Greyshade, my Greyshade IP, Greyshade Renegade Heretic Grey Assassin Trilogy, available at that link from Athos Arts. You can also get the audiobook of Greyshade from our very own Trent Sparks. Be on the lookout for the Renegade audiobook coming very soon. I would think within the next couple of days, probably. And then Heretic coming early next year. Very excited about that. And don't forget to pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade from our very own Brandon O'Brien, The Rising Tides, and Alligator Alley. Lots of good stuff coming on that. A Kickstarter update coming on that as well at the end of this year. And as always, BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Ukraine, Ukraine, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And we send the message that we will do so for others in that situation in the future. Quick note, by the way, I don't believe, Shadow can correct me if I'm wrong, I have to put together the schedule. I have not done so yet because, again, busy, but I will be able to do it based on the work that Triffid has done within the next day or so. So I don't think Shadow Crew is on tomorrow. I know that Shadow Crew is going to be doing 3 times this month, but I don't think it's tomorrow, he said. Doubtfully. Oh, you are doing it tomorrow. Okay, well then I'm glad I checked. All right, so then Shadow Crew is back tomorrow. And let me just put a little note about that. Change stream title. So then we will see them 3rd, 10th, and 17th. Okay, cool. All right, I will make those adjustments later. But you will then see the Shadow Crew tomorrow night. More Final Fantasy Tactics as we're into the home stretch of that. Ivalice Chronicles later on this week. And then we've got other holiday things. My holiday show that I always do with my family on Christmas Day. Also my end of the year show, which is also my game of the year show, where I will rank all the games that I played. So all that kind of stuff. Awesome, Trivet. Thank you. So that's the deal with that. But today, it is my great pleasure to bring back, as I say, the greatest of stories, A Christmas Carol with the greatest of voice teams. And so I am unmuting myself so the folks know we are ready to go, and I apologize for anyone that I interrupted because I couldn't hear them. And then I am going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to come over here to reveal to you, that's right, get ready for it, Oh my goodness, there are 7 additional people besides me within this stream. Look at that. Let me tell you, we are here with a Christmas carol. We are here with the Arvocalists, both alumni and regulars. Hi, everybody. It is good to see you all for the 2025 edition of A Christmas Carol. What a lineup is right. What a lineup. I'm even going to go back and forth, zip back and forth like I tried to do here on the screen. So I'm going to, first of all, jump to the right with my first of the alumni here that's on the screen, and that is Russ, who happens to be at the top of the screen, sort of down to the right.
Great rating spot, folks.
Yeah, that's the spot. What's up, Russ? How's everything with you, man? How you been? How's life in the universe with you?
Everything is good in Los Angeles. We're doing a lot of improv these days. We're working on our production of Three Penny Opera that we're going to put on in February.
Hell yeah.
Good choice.
Because this is what we do with improvisers. We train them by making them do classical plays.
Russ will break into Mac the Knife at some point. I imagine that will.
At some point. But yeah, it's great to hang out with the vocalists.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you. And for those of you who don't know, not only does Russ do tons of improv stuff, but Russ streams over on DM Tozzy's channel with Azure Sky. I think once a week, pretty much. So you should definitely check out Russ.
This campaign is actually ending December 29th, I believe, is our very last episode of Azure Sky, where we face the big bad. And
really, is that a short term, where you will come back with some other thing at some point with them?
Yeah, Curse of Strahd is coming next in the new year.
Yeah, see, we were just talking about everyone does Curse of Strahd. I too do Curse of Strahd. Anyway, that's awesome. Very excited. It's gonna be a different vibe though, for sure, than Azure Sky. But
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be the Spaniard anymore. It'll be more like Vampire Hunter guy. So
yes, I would think so. Very cool though. It's very good to have Russ back. And thank you for doing this, man. I appreciate it as always. Also appreciate, as I jump back now to the left, Zach Clay. Zach is with us, one of our regulars, of course, and featured on this channel multiple times on many things that Zach does. But Zach is with us again, and Zach, it's good to see you, my friend, as well. How's everything with you? How are you feeling about tonight and all that kind of good stuff? How's things on your end of the world?
I'm feeling okay-ish. It's a great time of year. I'm sick at the moment though. I'm recovering from what I think is the common cold, but at this point it's been lasting like 5 days, so I might have the flu. I don't know, but it's going away.
You've got mono, definitely mono.
Great.
Yeah, who knows?
It's the plague. You have the plague.
Yeah,
the bubonic plague.
Yes, several days of laying in bed and being like, what is the point of a virus? Why do these things exist?
Tonight it is known as humbugitis.
Yeah, I have humbugitis. But I'm still here because being here with all of you makes me happy, and is the joy of this is greater than the current suffering I am experiencing. So I am not voicing a bunch of stuff today, like narrator or Scrooge, perhaps next time, but I am here to lend my voice talents, of course, as always. Otherwise, life has been good. I'm going on a big trip to secret NDA stuff up in Washington, Seattle. What is up in Washington, Seattle that I would be NDA'd for? You might wonder.
Secret stuff.
Secret things. Yeah.
He's going to be repelling from the Space Needle. I didn't mean to, sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
Repelling from the Space Needle. Yep. So that trip is this weekend, and may be able to talk more about that soon, but that's a cool thing that's happening. But otherwise, yeah, just doing same old professional DM stuff here in the Bay Area and having a good time. So happy to be here.
Awesome to have Zach with us, and yeah, feel better, man. Thank you for joining us regardless of that. But it's good to see you, and I will, let's see, move down to, I think they're about equal on my screen, so I will move down to Dot next, because Dot is back.
Hi, friends.
Who's back? Dot is back. Dot from Kobold Press fame, and before that, from Arvocalist fame, and before that, from awesome multiple streaming and doing other things fame. Like, Dot has done it all.
It's like coming home. I just kind of came home, y'all. That's all I did.
Dot's back. It's good to see you, Dot. How are you? How's everything with you, and how you feeling about tonight and all that good stuff?
Things are great. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back and see so many faces. Yeah, I don't know. I'm ready to get in the Christmas spirit because, howdy, it's been a year.
Yeah.
I Scrooged all year. I'd like to not Scrooge tonight. So
no Scrooge tonight.
No Scrooge for Dot tonight.
Also, special thanks as well to Dot for getting all of the names coordinated. I'm telling you, the green room work was staggering. While I was like talking to all of you, it was like, all right, you do this, then like you play man with chin, like it was amazing.
Really, it's just like playing with my nephew. So like, who's gonna do what? I'm like, you're this, you're this, you're this. Go play, just like that.
Wait, man with chin was available?
That was what
Yeah,
I
sorry,
man
Rob. Sorry, Rob. You
without
chose
chin.
Scrooge. I had to give it a trend.
Who's
Oh,
the
man.
chinless man in this story?
But it is a great pleasure. to
Everybody
have
else.
Yeah, it's good to see y'all for sure. It's good to be back.
It is good to have Dot here, and yes, I'm excited for to hear what Dot gets up to voice-wise tonight. But thank you again, Dot. Also, a pleasure to have moving straight across to Tren, who of course is on this channel a fair bit and was one of the OG Arvocalists, as was mentioned, and it was also I've just had a chance to send some feedback on the narration of the third book of my Grey Assassin trilogy, Heretic. Tren is kicking all kinds of ass with this series, and I really, no joke, want Tren to get nominated for awards for this. It's so good. When you hear the voice for the character of Neuralid from that final book, you will be like, this is why the award should happen.
Oh, you can't say it like that.
It's so good, though.
No, I mean you can't say it like because like I told you during D&D, I based it largely on Jeffrey Holder, who's the 7-Up guy from the commercials back in the 70s and 80s, and his whole thing was you can't do that.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But it's good to see you, Trent. Welcome back for our vocalist stuff. How you feeling about tonight and all that kind of good stuff? How's everything with you?
Let's see. I've had 2 5-hour energies, and I am very ready to take a nap. So, yeah.
I see.
I think it was 5:30 my time, so like maybe 10 minutes before you sent out the link, that I kind of was trying to open an eye and look and see if my computer was. I was like, "Where's my clock? Oh yeah, it's way over there. I can't read it. I've been drooling into my own eye again." And anyway, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, really. So suffice to say, I'm very tired. Who am I playing? People, probably somebody with a chin. No, the narrator doesn't have a chin because it doesn't actually appear.
Yeah, I think Russ is playing the guy with the chin. Just
Yeah. I'm playing a dude with a red face. So
Outstanding. Yeah, at a certain point, it was just like, guy. One of the parts is just listed as other.
It's like, okay.
I will be playing other. That's my Law and Order credit.
I'm sure we'll find out.
But anyway, it's a great pleasure to have Trent with us. Thank you, Trent, for being here as always. Moving right down the column, next spot up is Indy, who is back with us again. Of course, one of our current regulars on the Arvocalists. It is awesome to have you here, man. How are you doing? How's everything with you, Indy? And I guess happy Thanksgiving, by the way, to anyone that I didn't wish happy Thanksgiving to, since it was only a week ago, believe it or not. And so good to see you, man. How's everything with you, and how you feeling about tonight and all that good stuff?
Everything's great. I'm excited. I think I'm playing Santa Claus is what I was assigned. That's what it looks like over there. So
and
I'm pretty
Krampus
excited.
At the same
Yes,
time.
yeah, both of those. That's gonna be really fun. Looking forward to that. But no, just joy to be here amongst incredible company.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, man. I'm very excited to hear what Indy gets up to voice-wise tonight. Thank you, as always. Moving right down, again, sort of diagonally down to the right, the person with the Santa Claus hat is our good friend Rob, who has returned again. Once again, is also back in the fold. Good to see you, Rob. How you doing, man? How is life and the universe by you? I know that weather-wise, it's cold and rainy because that's what it was for me, and we're not that far away. But
life, the universe, and New York City being cold and rainy. You're putting too much pressure on me for all these questions. I don't have answers to all of this. It's just the holidays,
I'll
man.
simply
it's
take
just
how
the
are
holidays.
you doing and how you feeling about tonight and all that good stuff.
I'm doing great. I'm gonna do Scrooge like he's a made man tonight. Let me tell you. Bah fucking humbug. Let's go to Vegas. What was the question? Hi everybody. I'm your host and master of ceremonies, but not on this channel, but on my own channel, Dark Side Rob. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah and Happy Festivus and Kwanzaa and everything in between. I'm doing great. This year has been insanity personified, but there's been some great moments in between the insanity. Like I was saying in the green room, I just got done doing a really awesome 3-night performance of a renewed version of Marvin Hamlish's and Craig Carnelia's musical Sweet Smell of Success, which we did with Raul Esparza and Lizzie McAlpine, and it was to pretty amazing reviews with incredible cast of people, and it was a whirlwind 3.5 weeks to do those 3 performances, which was like, you want us to do what in 3.5 weeks? You got to fit this into the hole for this, using nothing but that. And we did it. And it was wild. It was a wild experience. And it was basically like time travel, made manifest, because the whole month of November just was like, wait, it's December? What happened? The show's over?
Yeah.
But we just started. And so that's been the entirety of what's been in my brain for the last week. So I'm very happy to break up that musical part of my side with my brain with the acting side of, I get to play Scrooge again after a very long hiatus. And I'm very, very bah humbug. So
Awesome. It is good to see you, Rob. I am excited.
I'm
for
also a
this.
Twitch streamer, for those of you who
and that
may
too.
or may not
Yes.
be aware. Yes.
Lies.
Amongst other things.
Who
And
streams
when I'm
on Twitch?
Absolute propaganda.
I mean,
And
that-
when I'm not performing
jeez.
on Broadway, I do voice acting as my. There's a couple other people who do that here. You may have heard of them. So
It's good to see you, Rob. It is a pleasure
it's great
to have
to be
Rob
back,
here
my
as
friend.
well.
It's really great to be back. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, and thank you for doing it. And last but certainly not least, the coming to us from the farthest distance away in Christmas Carol land. No, not actually. But
Right from Santa's house itself.
but is currently in
Reporting from the North Pole.
in the morning times. It's KP coming to us from India. KP, I thank you so much for doing that, by the way. Would have understood if you couldn't make it. I'm glad you were able to. Welcome. How's everything with you? How's all life in the universe? How things in India at the moment, and how you feeling about tonight / the morning and all that stuff?
I'm doing very fantastic, by the way. I'm just providing tech support today. It's okay, all right? Just
my
here
God.
to make sure the stream runs very smoothly. How do you do?
Okay, I
This is
need
normal.
to just
We're not
jump in
doing
here
this.
real quick
No,
because
thank you.
we just met for the first time
Yeah.
tonight. And he didn't pull that shit out the whole time we were talking. So then I was like, wait a minute. Did I meet a different
What?
person? What just happened?
It's called voice acting,
Yeah,
Rob.
voice
I
acting.
know, but it was just I'm looking away from the like, okay, that was not a bad intro. Wait, what? Wait,
exactly.
what's going on? That was good.
great.
That was
Um,
good.
Surprisingly, I play as a dead guy today. So no, I'm kidding. No, I'm doing all right. I'm glad I'm here. This is probably the most joyous thing, and I am so happy to be with y'all. I'm just so excited to do another year of the story. I think I missed last year, so this year, glad I can do this again because it's definitely a highlight of the year. So thank you for having me again. As far as life is going. Life is good. Life is we're working through it, and I think everybody's in the same boat, but we take it one step at a time and do the best we can with each step. So and as you said, I'm in India right now, finally over jet lag. So this is helpful. Thanks for that. Arv,
Hey, no
helping
problem.
me
I
with
do.
my jet
I
lag.
do. Listen, I got you, man. I got you.
But yeah, outside of that, I'm good, man. And I think I mentioned I play a dead guy today, so that's me, as well as another
Yes,
So,
and
other,
yes.
And other.
and other.
Arv,
But no-
I got a question.
Yeah.
Just so everybody at home really knows what tonight's going to look like. Are we taking a break?
Oh, yeah, the break thing.
Yes, right now.
We
Are we
yes,
should
we're
take our
taking the
first break
now.
of the
No.
evening? Or we...
No, we will take the break. I will pay attention about when what particular time of the Christmas Carol we will, but yes, we'll try to take a break about halfway through ish if we can.
We should probably define roughly when we want that to be because we'll forget otherwise. Like after the first of
Well, there
the
are
3
4
spirits, or-
chapters. Maybe we do it between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Sure.
That
And if
sounds
necessary, we
insane.
could
No
also
way.
like check in. Maybe we could do like a check in between each chapter. Be like, hey, anybody need like a quick 5-minute something like that? So that,
I'm okay with the standard intermission halfway through.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
so we
That
could
works
do
for
an
me.
intermission halfway through.
It's,
Everybody.
I just keeping that theater brain right in its sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we will do that. And yeah, chat, last thing is as you're going along, I do want to encourage everybody to enjoy themselves, to become part of the festivities. And the thing I want to say is that we always have a blast doing these, at least I won't speak for them. I am, this is my favorite story. It's one of my favorite events that we do of the year. I love it. And one of the reasons is that although it is always like funny and a blast and all that stuff, it's also, given the circumstances of what we've been talking about, in terms of it's being an interesting year and everything, man, do we need some of the, not just the hope that this story provides, but also a little bit about the anger about the way that people are treated by Scrooge and company early on. Dickens was, as people will know, worked in a factory when he was a child, came from an incredibly poverty-stricken family, and so he did not mess around when it came to this stuff. And so the whole idea, just so everyone knows, the idea is not whether or not whether Scrooge deserves to be saved. It's that if you can save Scrooge, then anybody has a shot. That's the basic reason for it. And so keeping that in mind, this is a holiday in which I hope you will be inspired by it to A, fight against injustice and help those that you can, B, have a little bit of hope in doing it. That's what this story comes from, is anger and hope. And so in that spirit, it is my great pleasure to introduce the greatest voice team on Twitch. And let's get rolling, people. It begins this way. This is the one that he abridged for his public readings, by the way. The one time that Trent and I did accidentally picked the full version.
Oh, no. Oh, no,
Were you there for that, Dot? I don't remember, but like...
I was not. That was before the Dot time.
I think that was the year before I joined,
It was very long. Yeah, it was. Russ was there?
I think we were...
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think we were in the middle of Christmas, Ghost of Christmas Present, and I was like, wait...
This is too long.
This is really long.
It was my bad. I have since bookmarked this 6 ways to Sunday.
The year I think we did like the shortest version, the longest version, and then we're like, we need to compromise.
We gotta find a middle ground.
This is this version. All right, so this is the one that was officially abridged by Charles Dickens. And here we go. Dickens begins it by saying, I have endeavored in this ghostly little book to raise the ghost of an idea, which shall not put my readers out of humor with themselves, with each other, with the season, or with me. May it haunt their houses pleasantly, and no one wish to lay it. Their faithful friend and servant, Charles Dickens, December 1843. And we begin with Marley's Ghost.
Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead? Of course he did. How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assign, his sole residuary. I don't think I've ever had to say that word out loud. Legatee, his sole friend. Sure. His sole mourner. Mm-hmm. See, I'm already losing my mind. Scrooge.
If all else fails.
Right.
Yeah.
Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name, however. There it yet stood, years afterward, above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. The firm was known as Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people new to the business called Scrooge, and sometimes Marley. He answered to both names. It was all the same to him. Oh, don't do that, Trent. Don't do that. Don't. Don't do that. This is not, no. But he was a tight-fisted hand at the crowd. What?
I was just waiting for the end of that sentence. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
We don't know what you were going to do.
The best part is we don't know what that thing is, but you do.
Good.
So have an idea.
Leave it that way.
Stop watching porn.
Well, hang on a second.
How many tabs do you have open? How many tabs? Don't lie.
I was going to say, how many are there? But he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone with Scrooge. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping. Can we not use these kind of descriptors right after talking about porn? Screaming, clutching, covetous old sinner. This is why you should never have me back. External heat and cold had little influence on him. No warmth could warm, no cold, no cold could chill him. No wind that blew was bitterer than he. No falling snow was more intent upon its purpose, no pelting rain less open to entreaty. Foul weather didn't know what to have him. The heaviest rain and snow and hail and sleet could boast of the advantage over him in only one respect. They often came down handsomely, and Scrooge never did.
No, it was a funny line. Just it's a joke. I laughed because it's funny, not because you made it. Not because we're 12.
Can be both.
I've never come down.
Right. Nobody ever stopped him in the street to say with gladsome looks, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come to see me?" No beggars implored him to bestow a trifle. No children asked him what it was o'clock. No man or woman ever once in all his life inquired the way to such and such a place of Scrooge. Even the blind men's dogs appeared to know him, and when they saw him coming on, would tug their owners into doorways and up courts, and then would wag their tails as though they say, "No eye at all is better than an evil eye, Dark Master." But what did Scrooge care? It was the very thing he liked, to edge his way along the crowded paths of life, warning all human sympathy to keep its distance, was what the knowing ones call nuts to Scrooge. Once upon a time of, I knew this was going to happen when I was reading it earlier. Once upon a time of all the good days of the year, upon a Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting, foggy weather, London. And
it was London.
Yes. And the city clocks had only just gone 3, but it was quite dark early. No, already.
You got this, man.
He was at the edge, don't worry.
The door of Scrooge's counting house was open, that he might keep his eye upon his clerk, who, in a dismal little cell beyond, a sort of tank, was copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was so very much smaller that it looked like one coal. But he couldn't replenish it, for Scrooge kept the coal box in his own room. And so surely, as the clerk came in with a shovel, the master predicted that it would be necessary for them to part. No, that sentence. This is why I try to pre-read it every year, because my brain just won't lock onto it anymore. Wherefore the clerk put on his white comforter. This is not, it's kind of plaid. And tried to warm himself at the candle, in which effort, not being a man of strong imagination, he failed. That's not me. Sorry. Sorry.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. I, God, saved you.
I'm telling you, we need to write
read that every year.
I know. We need to tell them, look,
God,
I repent.
saved you.
And thank you for coming to the story. The end.
No, Merry Christmas,
God.
Uncle. God save you. I have nothing to do in that sentence.
Cried a beatific, cheerful voice. It was the voice of Scrooge's nephew, who came upon him so quickly that this was the first intimation Scrooge had of his approach.
I can't work under these conditions.
Well, you're going to have to, said Scrooge.
Humbug.
Christmas, a humbug, Uncle. You don't mean that, I'm sure.
Oh, I do. Out upon a Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. A time for balancing your books and having every item in 'em through a round dozen of months presented dead against you. If I had my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should.
Uncle.
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way, and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it? But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone, then. Much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you.
Okay. Just
That was the
making,
end of the line. There is
yeah,
no more.
yeah. I was reading through
You need to
this
go on.
paragraph. It's like,
No,
is
it says
this
next line.
Yeah, that's
Just
yeah,
the way you
that's
say, I
next
finished the line.
Okay,
You stop the
okay,
next
okay.
line.
Look,
You keep going.
Uncle, look, Uncle. It's my line. There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say, Christmas among the rest, but I'm sure I've always thought of Christmas time when it's come round, apart from the veneration due to its sacred origin, if anything belonging to it call be apart from that, as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time, the only time I know of in the long calendar of the year where men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely, to think of people below them as if they really were fellow travelers to the grave, not of another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
The clerk in the tank involuntarily applauded.
Let me hear another sound from you.
Said Scrooge.
And you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir.
He added, turning to his nephew.
I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
Scrooge said that he would see him. Yes, indeed he did. He went the whole length of the expression and said that he would see him in that extremity first.
But why?
Cried Scrooge's nephew.
Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love.
Growled Scrooge, as if that were the only thing in the world more ridiculous than a Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Uncle, but you never came to see me before that happened. Why give it as a reason for no coming now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. We've never had any quarrel to which I've been a party, but I've made the trial in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
As a quick side note, every time you do that, Rob, I hear Mel Brooks going, the acquisition, but it's good afternoon. Oh. Okay. His nephew left the room without an angry word, notwithstanding. The clerk, in letting Scrooge's nephew out, had let two other people in. They were portly gentlemen, pleasant to behold, and now stood with their hats off in Scrooge's office. They had books and papers in their hands and bowed to him.
So this might be one of the things. This seems neither to be a red-faced gentleman or a man with a big chin. So...
But yeah, that's true. Some gentlemen, read it. Read this first one.
The other gentleman? Which gentleman?
Scrooge and Marley, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Said one
There
of
we
the
go.
gentlemen, referring to his list.
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago, this very night.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge?
Said the gentleman, taking up a pen.
It is more than unusually desirable that we should make some slight provisions for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts. Sir, I think that's what I was going to say. Air.
They want air.
Common comforts.
That is a necessary, yeah.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons, but under the impression that they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the unoffending multitude. A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, you wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the prisons and the workhouses. They cost enough. And those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
At length, the hour of shutting up the counting house arrived. With an ill-will, Scrooge, dismounting from his stool, tacitly admitted the fact to the expectant clerk in the tank, who instantly snuffed his candle out and put on his hat. That's Scrooge.
I think this is Scrooge.
It is.
Yeah.
It is? Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
is. You're
first
right.
one.
Yeah. The first one?
Mm-hmm.
So you want it like Scrooge.
Please.
Yeah.
You don't want it like someone other. Oh,
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get an
If
ABC.
quite convenient,
now?
yes.
Ready?
now.
Okay.
Okay. So you'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose.
I think.
Is this another?
No, this is
No.
Bob Cratchit.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, right. Mr. Cratchit is.
You want me to
Russ.
read all of them now?
Yes.
Why?
That's Russ. Mr. Cratchit's Russ.
It's quite convenient, sir.
It is not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself mightily ill-used, I'll be bound.
Yes, sir.
And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning. And that was my phone reminding me to tell you that.
Yes.
We'll
Be here earlier the next morning and make sure Siri knows as well.
promise.
Shut up, Siri. No one's talking to you.
Promise.
The clerk promised that he would, and Scrooge walked out with a growl. The office was closed in a twinkling, and the clerk, with the long ends of his white comforter dangling below his waist, for he boasted no greatcoat, went down a slide at the end of the lane of boys 20 times in honor of it being Christmas Eve, and then ran home as hard as he could pelt to play at Blind Man's Bluff. Should be Bluff.
No, it's. I think it is Buff.
He's
actually.
just buff.
It is Blind Man's Buff.
I know that it is.
Yeah.
Blind
actual
men
game-
in the buff.
Actual game is Blind Man's Buff. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Blind Man's
mind.
Bluff is where you're like, am I blind or am I? You don't know, right? That's Blind Man's Bluff. But,
Right.
you know.
Because everybody peeks. Anyway, so Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's book, went home to bed. He lived in chambers which had once belonged to his deceased partner. They were a gloomy suite of rooms in a lowering pile building up a yard. The building was old enough now and dreary enough, for no one lived in it but Scrooge, the other rooms being all let out as offices. Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door of this house, except that it was very large. Also, that Scrooge had seen it night and morning during his whole residence in that place, Also, that Scrooge had as little of what is called fancy about him as any man in the city of London. And yet, Scrooge, having his key in the lock of the door, saw in the knocker, without its undergoing any intermediate process of change, not a knocker, but Marley's face. Marley's face, which is what I just said, with a dismal light about it, like a bad lobster in a dark cellar, which is gross.
Don't eat bad lobster.
Especially not in a dark cellar, because then you might. Never mind. It was not an angry or ferocious, but it looked at Scrooge as Marley used to look, with ghostly spectacles turned up upon its ghostly forehead. As Scrooge looked fixedly at this phenomenon, it was a knocker again. And he said, "Pooh, pooh, no, sorry, fuck, that's still not me." And he said,
What you said. Poo poo.
Oh,
"Thank you for the poo." And closed the door with a bang. The sound, thank you, that, yes, resounded through the house like thunder. Every room above and every cask in the wine cellars, that's not what it says, the wine merchant cellars below appeared to have a separate peal of echoes of its own. Scrooge was not a man to be frightened by echoes. He fastened the door and walked across the hall and up the stairs, slowly, too, trimming his candle as he went, because back then you had to trim your candles or they'd get like two. Anyway, up Scrooge went, not caring a button for it being very dark. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge liked it. But before he shut his heavy door, he walked through his rooms to see that all was right. He had just enough recollection of the face to desire to do that. Sitting room, bedroom, lumber room, all as they should be. Nobody under the table, nobody under the sofa, except for that guy that Edgar Allan Poe killed. A small fire in the grate, spoon and basin ready, and a little saucepan of gruel. Scrooge had a cold in his head, upon the hob. Nobody under the bed, again, Poe thing. Nobody in the closet.
Nobody on the road. Nobody
Maybe
else.
Pennywise and Aslan, the big kitty cat thing. Mr. Tumnus. Anyway, nobody, but right. Nobody in his, yes, nobody. Well, of course, nobody would be in his dressing gown, because then it wouldn't be. Never mind. Focus, Tren. Focus. Nobody in his dressing gown, which was hanging up in a suspicious attitude against the wall. Lumber room as usual, which we already covered earlier in the paragraph. Old fire guard, old shoes, 2 fish baskets, washing stand on 3 legs, a poker and a partridge in a pear tree. Quite satisfied, he closed his door and locked himself in. Double locked himself in, which was not his custom. Thus secured against surprise, he took off his cravat, put on his dressing gown and slippers and his nightcap, and sat down before the very low fire to take his gruel. As he threw his head back in it, is that where I'm at? Yeah, that's right. As he threw his head back in the chair, his glance happened to rest upon a bell, a disused bell that hung in the room and communicated for some purpose now forgotten with a chamber in the highest story of the building. It was with great astonishment and with a strange, inexplicable dread that as he looked, he saw the bell begin to swing. Soon it rang out loudly, and so did every bell in the house. Yes, exactly like that. Man, that sounds like a crappy bell. This was succeeded by a clanking noise deep down below in the house, not in script, as if some person were dragging a heavy chain over the casks in the wine merchant's cellar. Then he heard the noise much louder on the floors below, then coming up the stairs, then coming straight towards his door. It came on through the heavy door, and a specter passed into the room before his eyes, and upon its coming in, the dying flame leaped up as though it cried, "I know him, Marley's ghost." Figured I'd take that one because I don't think
That's fine.
The same face, the very same. Marley in his pigtail usual waistcoat, tights, and boots. His body was transparent so that Scrooge, observing him and looking through his waistcoat, could see 2 buttons on his coat behind. Scrooge had often heard it said that Marley had no bowels, but he had never believed it until now. Nor did he believe it even now, though he looked at the phantom through and saw it standing before him, though he felt the chilling influence of its death-cold eyes and noticed the very texture of the folded kerchief bound about its head and chin. He was still incredulous.
"How now?"
said Scrooge, caustic and cold as ever.
"What do you want with me?"
Much.
Marley's voice, no doubt about it.
"Who are you?"
Ask me who I was.
"Who were you then?"
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
Scrooge asked the question because he didn't know whether a ghost so transparent might find himself in a condition to take a chair, and felt that in the event of it being impossible, it might involve the necessity of an embarrassing explanation. But the ghost sat down on the opposite side of the fireplace as if he were quite used to it.
You don't believe in me.
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond of your senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are.
Scrooge was not much in the habit of cracking jokes, nor did he feel in his heart by any means waggish then. The truth is that he tried to be smart as a means of distracting his own attention and keeping down his horror. But how much greater was his horror when the phantom, taking off the bandage round its head as if it were too warm to wear indoors, its lower jaw dropped down upon its breast.
Mercy! Dreadful apparition. Why do you trouble me? Why do spirits walk the earth? And why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes on forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. I cannot tell you all I would. A very little more is permitted to me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house. Mark me! In life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole, and weary journeys lie before me.
7 years dead? And traveling all the time? You travel fast?
On the wings of the wind.
You might have got over a great quantity of ground in 7 years.
Oh, blind man, blind man! Not to know the ages of incessant labor by mortal creatures for this earth must pass into eternity before the good of which it is susceptible as all developed. Not to know that any Christian spirit, working kindly in its little sphere, whatever it may be, will find its mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness. Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life's opportunities misused. Words misused. Yet I was like this man. I was once like this man.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Faltered Scrooge, who now began to apply this to himself.
Business?
Cried the ghost, wringing its hands again.
Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, benevolence were all of my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business.
Scrooge was very much dismayed to hear the spectre going on at this rate.
I'm very much dismayed.
Yes, I know. And began to quake exceedingly.
Hear me.
Sorry.
No. Hear me. My time is nearly gone.
I will, but don't be hard upon me. Don't be flowery, Jacob, pray.
I am here tonight to warn you that you have a.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here
Got
to.
it. Okay.
I'm here.
Yep.
I'm here. I'm here. Damn it!
Would you like some tea?
Oh, lovely. I'm here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
It's Ebenezer, but you were always a good friend to me. Thank you.
English is my third language, Scrooge. After
You say it
Ghost,
like it sounds.
After Ghost.
you will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob? I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow night, when the bell tolls 1. Expect the second on the next night, at the same hour. The third upon the next night, when the stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and look that for your own sake. You remember what has passed between us.
It walked backward from him, and every step it took, the window raised itself a little so that when the apparition reached it, it was wide open. Scrooge closed the window and examined the door by which the ghost had entered. It was double locked, as he had locked it with his own hands, and the bolts were undisturbed. Scrooge tried to say,
I'm sorry.
Scrooge tried to say, but he failed miserably. But stopped at the first. Oh, you did. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
Look, I know my mind was somewhere else, but at least I know the
Right.
part, okay?
Right. Okay.
It worked.
And being from the emotion he had undergone, or the fatigues of the day, or his glimpse of the invisible world, or the dull conversation with the ghost, it didn't really seem that dull to me, of the ghost, or the lateness of the hour, much in need of repose, he went straight to bed without undressing and fell asleep upon the instant.
The first of the 3 spirits.
When Scrooge awoke, it was so dark that, looking out of bed, he could scarcely distinguish the transparent window from the opaque walls of his chamber, until suddenly the church clock tolled a deep, dull, hollow, melancholy 1. Light flashed up in the room upon the instant, when the curtains of his bed were drawn aside by a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man, viewed through some supernatural medium, which gave him the appearance of having receded from the view and being diminished to a child's proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle on it, and the tenderest bloom was on the skin. It held a branch of fresh green holly in its hand, and in a singular contradiction of that wintry emblem, had its dress trimmed with summer flowers. But the strangest thing about it was that from the crown of its head there sprung a bright, clear jet of light, by which all this was visible, and which was doubtless the occasion of its using, in its duller moments, a great extinguisher for a cap, which it now held under its arm.
Aye, you the spirit, sir, whose coming was foretold me.
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
Oh, your past. The things that you will see with me are shadows of the things that that have been. Not might have been, have been. Trust me, we'll get there. They will have no consciousness of us.
Scrooge then made bold to inquire what business brought him here. There. Anywhere.
Nice.
Here and there and everywhere. You're well there. Rise and walk with me.
It would have been in vain for Scrooge to plead that the weather and the hour were not adapted to pedestrian purposes, that bed was warm and the thermometer was a long way below freezing, that he was clad but lightly in his slippers, dressing gown and nightcap, and that he had cold upon him at that time. The grasp, though gentle as a woman's hand, was not to be resisted. He rose, but finding that the spirit made towards the window, clasped its road in supplication.
I am mortal and liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand there,
said the spirit, laying upon his heart.
and you shall be upheld in more than this.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the wall and stood in the busy thoroughfares of a city. It was made plain enough by the dressing of the shops that here, too, it was Christmas time. The ghost stopped at a certain warehouse door and asked Scrooge if he knew it.
Know it? Was I apprenticed here?
They went in. At sight of an old gentleman in a Welsh wig sitting behind such a high desk that if he had been 2 inches taller, it must have knocked his head against the ceiling, Scrooge cried in great excitement.
Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart, it's Fezziwig, alive again.
Old Fezziwig laid down his pen and looked up at the clock, which pointed to the hour of 7. He rubbed his hands, adjusted his capacious waistcoat, laughed all over himself from his shoes to his organ of benevolence, and called out in a comfortable, oily, rich, fat, jovial voice.
Yo there, Ebenezer! Dick!
A living and moving picture of Scrooge's former self, a young man, came briskly in, accompanied by his fellow prentice.
Dick Wilkins, to be sure,
said Scrooge to the ghost.
My old fellow prentice, bless me, yes. There he is. He was very much attached to me, was Dick. Poor Dick. Dear, dear.
Oh, my boys,
said Fezziwig.
No more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick! Christmas Eve, Ebenezer! Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson. Clear away, my lads, and let's have a lot of room here.
Clear away. There was nothing they wouldn't have cleared away or couldn't have cleared away with old Fezziwig looking on. It was done in a minute. Every movable was packed off as if it were dismissed from public life forevermore. The floor was swept and watered. The lamps were trimmed. Fuel was heaped upon the fire. The warehouse was as snug as warm and dry and bright as a ballroom as you would desire to see upon a winter's night. In came a fiddler with a music book. and went up to the lofty desk and made an orchestra of it, and tuned like 50 stomach aches. It's a lot. And in came Mr. Mrs. Fezziwig, excuse me. One vast, substantial smile. In came 3 Miss Fezziwigs, beaming and lovable. In came the 6 young followers whose hearts they broke. In came all the young men and women employed in the business. In came the housemaid, with her cousin the baker. In came the cook, with her brother's particular friend the milkman. In came one after another, after another, after another. Some shyly, some boldly, some gracefully, some awkwardly, some pushing, some pulling. In they all came, anyhow and every how. Away they went, 20 couple at once. Hands half round and back again, the other way, down the middle and up again, round and round in various stages of affectionate grouping. Old top couple always turning up in the wrong place, new top couple starting off again as soon as they got there, all couples at last, not a bottom one to help them. When this result was brought about, old Fezziwig, clapping his hands to stop the dance, cried out,
Well done!
And the fiddler plunged his hot face into a pot of porter especially provided for that purpose. There were more dances, and there were forfeits, and more dances, and cake, and ice cream, and a great piece of cold roast. There was a great piece of cold boiled, and there were mince pies and plenty of beer. But the great effect of the evening came after the roast and boiled, when the fiddler struck up Sir Roger de Coverley. Then old Fezziwig stood out to dance with Mrs. Fezziwig. Top couple, too, with a stiff piece of work cut out for them. 3 or 4 and 20 pair of partners. People who were not to be trifled with. People who would dance and had no notion of walking. But if they had twice as many, 4 times, old Fezziwig would have been a match for them, and so would Mrs. Fezziwig. As to her, she was worthy to be his partner in every sense of the term. Positive light appeared to issue from Fezziwig's calves. They shone in every part of the dance. You couldn't have predicted, at any given time, what would come of them next. When old Fezziwig and Mr. Fezziwig had gone through all the dance, advance and retire, turn your partner, bow and curtsy, corkscrew, thread the needle, and back again to your place, Fezziwig cut, and cut so deftly that he appeared to wink with his legs. When the clock struck 11, this domestic ball broke up. Mr. and Mrs. Fezziwig took their stations, one on either side of the door, and shaking hands with every person individually as he or she went out, or they wished them, or him or her, a Merry Christmas. When everybody, had retired but the 2 princesses, they did the same to them, and thus the cheerful voices died away, and the lads were left to their beds, which were under a counter in the back shop.
A small matter,
said the ghost,
to make these silly folks so full of gratitude. He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
It isn't that,
said Scrooge, heated by the remark, speaking unconsciously like his former, not his latter self.
It isn't that, Spirit. He has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. Say that his power lies in words and looks, in things so slight and insignificant that it is impossible to add up and count them. What then? The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost us a fortune.
He felt the spirit's glance and stopped.
What is the matter?
Nothing particular.
Something, I think.
No. I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now. That's all.
My time grows short.
Observed the spirit.
Quick!
This was not addressed to Scrooge or to anyone whom he could see, but it produced an immediate effect. For again he saw himself. He was older now, a man in the prime of his life. He was not alone, but sat by the side of a fair young girl in a black dress, in whose eyes there were tears.
It matters little.
she said softly to Scrooge's former self.
To you, very little. Another idol has displaced me. And if it can comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one. You fear the world too much. I've seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion gain engrosses you. Have I not?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I am not changed towards you. Have I ever sought release from our engagement?
In words, no. Never.
In what then?
In a changed nature. In an altered spirit. In another atmosphere of life. Another hope as its great end. If you were free today, tomorrow, yesterday, can even I believe that you would choose a dowerless girl? Or choosing her, do I not know that your repentance and regret would surely follow? I do, and I release you, with a full heart for the love of him you once were.
Spirit, remove me from this place.
I told you these shadows were of things that have been.
Said the ghost.
That they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Remove me! Remove me!
Scrooge exclaimed.
I cannot bear it! Leave me! Take me back! Hold me no longer!
As he struggled with the spirit, he was conscious of being exhausted and overcome by an irresistible drowsiness, and further, of being in his own bedroom. He had barely the time to reel to bed before he sank into a heavy, deep, forever. No, not forever. Just sleep.
At this bitch.
Did we say break between first and second? Is that what we said?
I think maybe this is a good
last
time
two-
for it.
Rob.
Then, in that case, it's my pleasure to say we are about halfway through one of my favorite events of the year. We are joined by the spectacular Arvocalists doing their usual astonishingly amazing job. Russ Goodman, Zach Clay, Trent Sparks, Little Red Dot, Indy, Darkside Rob, and KP. We are going to take about a 5 minute. Is that cool? 5 minute break. And when we come back, it will be part 2. Don't miss it. You won't believe the twist to come.
Oh my gosh, how's it end?
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Exactly. We'll be back in a little bit. Please spread the word. Let everybody know that this is going on, and we'll see you in 5. Hold tight. All righty. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Christmas Carol with the Arvocalists 2025 edition. And thank you all for being here as a part of this amazing experience. I was thinking about this just listening to the amazing actors do their work, and everyone having a blast and, goofing on each other as well. That's always fun. But I was just thinking again about how extraordinarily fortunate I am to have a group of really talented people and good friends to be able to do this. I feel very blessed by it. So thank you again to these amazing people. And thank you to all of you in chat. Hey, thanks. And thank you to chat as well for being here. It is always good to see everybody. Exactly. Everyone. Okay. So we are ready to go. And we begin. No problem at all. That was totally fine. Let me see. That was totally fine.
I'm sorry.
Andy, I just added you a part. I'm reading ahead and I realized I missed one.
Okay.
Double checking. There's something in chat. Someone in
No,
chat.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was I got it. Everyone should now be.
I hear them
audible.
shout out. I will just. I will.
It's a
I
good
will
thing you
type
didn't hear it,
everything
'cause
into
they
the
were
chat
like-
for you.
They're like, we're having a good
Yes, I
time, but
was-
the freaking chat, unbelievable.
Charades. Yes. Wait, have you not heard us this whole time? Ah, damn it. We have to start
Yeah,
over.
they have to begin from the beginning.
Dang
No,
it.
they
now.
definitely
Trend, start from
heard
the
that.
top.
Mr. Hottie's done it. Oh, wait.
Okay, are we good with parts? Everyone.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of Cratchits. So y'all, I'm about to update the chat. Just look. You're gonna play a Cratchit. Everybody's gotta play a Cratchit. There's a shit ton of them.
There's
so.
a Cratchit coming up. All
Okay.
right. I'm
right.
excited for the Cratchits. All right. Here we go as we return to the world of the Ghost of Christmas Present, in this case, with the second of the three spirits.
The Cratchit Apocalypse.
And I think Russ is the narrator for this.
Russ,
yeah?
I think you're doing that one. We had to flip flop, so you're up
Yeah.
for.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
going
I'm doing the
by-
last one. You're doing
by
second
the
of three spirits.
list.
So sorry.
Fair enough. Okay. Scrooge awoke in his bedroom. There was no doubt about that. But it and his own adjoining sitting room, into which he shuffled his slippers, attracted by a great light there, had undergone a surprising transformation. The walls and the ceiling were so hung with living green that it looked a perfect grove. The leaves of holly, mistletoe, and ivy reflected back the light, as if many little mirrors had been scattered there. And such a mighty blaze went roaring up the chimney, as that petrifaction of a hearth had never known in Scrooge's
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
or
Petrifaction.
Martha's, or for many and many a winter season gone. Heaped upon the floor to form a kind of throne were turkeys, geese, game, brawn, great joints of meat, sucking pigs, long wreaths of sausage, mince pies, plum puddings, barrels of oysters, red-hot chestnuts, cherry-cheeked apples, juicy oranges, luscious pears, immense 12 cakes, and great bowls of punch. In easy state upon this couch there sat a giant glorious to see, who bore a glowing torch, in shape not unlike Plenty's horn, and who raised it high to shed his light on Scrooge as he came peeping round the door.
Come in! Come in and know me better, man. I am the ghost of Christmas Present. Look upon me. You have never seen the like of me before.
Never.
Have never walked forth with the younger members of my family, meaning, for I am very young, my elder brothers born in these late years.
That's still yours.
Narrator.
Narrator.
That's
Russ,
you,
that's still
narrator.
yours.
Pursued the phantom. Sorry.
Yes.
I don't think I have. I'm afraid not. Have you many brothers, Spirit?
More than 1,800.
A tremendous family to provide for, Spirit. Conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learned a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe!
Absolutely not.
Scrooge did as he was
Please?
told.
I mean, I absolutely will.
Sorry, bro.
The
Sorry.
room and its contents all vanished instantly, and they stood in the city streets upon a snowy Christmas morning. Scrooge and the ghost passed on, invisible, straight to Scrooge's clerk, and on the threshold of the door the spirit smiled and stopped to bless Bob Cratchit's dwelling with the sprinklings of his torch. Think of that. Bob had but 15, Bob, a week himself. He pocketed on Saturdays but 15 copies of his Christian name, and yet the ghost of Christmas present blessed his four-roomed house. Then up rose Mrs. Cratchit, Cratchit's wife, dressed out but poorly in a twice-turned gown, brave in ribbons, which are cheap and make a goodly show for sixpence. And she laid the cloth, assisted by Belinda Cratchit, second of her daughters, also brave in ribbons, while Master Peter Cratchit plunged a fork in the saucepan of potatoes, and getting the corners of his monstrous shirt collar, Bob's private property conferred upon his son and the heir honor of the day, into his mouth, rejoiced to find himself so gallantly attired, and yearned to show his linen in the fashionable park. And now two small Cratchits, boy and girl, came tearing in, screaming that outside the baker's they had smelt the goose, and had known it for their own, and basking in luxurious thoughts of sage and onion, these young Cratchits danced about the table, and exalted Master Peter Cratchit to the skies, while he, not proud, although his collars clearly choked him, blew the fire until the slow potatoes, bubbling up, knocked loudly at the saucepan lid to be let out and peeled.
What has ever got your precious father then?
Said Mrs. Cratchit.
And your brother Tiny Tim and Martha weren't as late last Christmas by half an hour. That's you, KP.
You're
You're
muted,
Kippy.
Kippy.
Cratchit, kissing her doesn't
Microphone.
Oh, you got it. Here's Martha, mother.
Wait, now I'm lost.
Here's Martha, mother, said a girl.
Oh, got it. Cried the two young Cratchits.
Nope.
No, the
Right
one
before
before
that.
that.
Nope.
The other Martha, mother, said a girl.
It's always the other Martha.
Here's Martha, mother. Join me, other young Cratchit. Whose
Right.
name
Could be
is
you,
Trin.
Trin.
Where is this written?
Yeah, where is this written? I don't see. I don't see it either.
I put it
In the
in
Discord.
Discord, y'all. That's
It's
where
being-
it's easier for me.
live
Yeah, the
edited.
Discord has been
Zoom this whole
updated. No,
time,
so
and I'm like,
sorry.
what?
I will recopy for ease into Zoom.
What is Discord?
I'd never heard of
Here's-
it before.
Here's Martha, mother.
What's this called?
What is
Yes.
this magic?
And here's Martha, mother person.
And here's Martha.
Here's
Somebody
Martha.
please, God, read the rest of that line. Hurrah!
Well,
Hurrah!
there's such a goose, Martha.
There's such a goose, Martha.
Okay.
Why, bless
Slap
your heart.
it.
Alive, my dear. How late are you?
Said Mrs. Cratchit, kissing her a dozen times and taking off her shawl and bonnet for her.
I think this is back
That's
to
Martha.
KP. KP.
Oh, I suck.
It's the girl.
Okay. Oh, reply the girl. Great deal of work to finish up last night,
Replied the girl.
and had to clear away this morning, mother.
Well, never so long as you are come. Sit ye down before the fire, my dear, and have a warm Lord bless ye.
No,
No.
There's
There's
Father
Father coming.
Cried the two young Cratchits in unison, who were
Perfect.
everywhere at once.
Absolutely in unison.
Hide, Martha,
Everywhere.
hide!
Yes.
Hide, Martha, hide.
There was no
Hey,
bread.
Martha, where do you want this couch?
Two twins in front of the elevator and the freaking The Shining.
Right.
The-
Hello,
Yes.
Danny. Yeah.
Martha,
Everywhere.
where'd you put my damn
Sorry,
cigarettes?
sorry.
There was a slight echo in the hallway. So Martha hid herself. In came little Bob, the father, with at least 3 feet of comforter, exclusive of the fringe hanging down before him, and his threadbare clothes darned up and brushed, to look seasonable, and Tiny Tim upon his shoulder. Alas, for Tiny Tim, I hear him now, he bore a little crutch, and he had his limbs supported by an iron frame.
Oh, crap, you're Bob
Hey.
Cratchit.
Boy, where's our Martha? cried Bob Cratchit, looking round.
Not coming?
Said Mrs. Cratchit. Not coming, said Bob, with a sudden declension to his high spirits, for he had been Tim's blood horse all the way from church, and had come home rampant. Not coming upon Christmas Day? Martha didn't like to see him disappointed, if it were the only joke, so she came out prematurely from behind the closet door and ran into his arms, while the two young Cratchits hustled Tiny Tim and bore him off to the wash-house that he might hear the pudding singing in the copper.
And how did little Tim behave?
Asked Mrs. Cratchit when she had rallied Bob on his credulity, and Bob had hugged his daughter to his heart's content. As good as gold, said Bob. And better. Somehow he gets thoughtful, sitting by himself so much, and thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me, coming home, that he'd hoped the people saw him in the church, because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see. Bob's voice was tremulous when he told them this, and trembled more when he said that Tiny Tim was growing strong and hearty. His active little crutch was heard upon the floor, and back came Tiny Tim before another word was spoken, escorted by his brother and sister to his stool beside the fire, while Bob, turning up his cuffs, as if, poor fellow, they were capable of being made more shabby, compounded some hot mixture in a jug with gin and lemons, and stirred it round and put it on the hob to simmer. Master Peter and the two ubiquitous young Cratchits went to fetch the goose, with which they soon returned in high procession. Mrs. Cratchit made the gravy, ready beforehand in a little saucepan, hissing hot. Master Peter mashed the potatoes with incredible vigor. Miss Belinda sweetened up the applesauce. Martha dusted the hot plate. Bob took Tiny Tim beside him in a corner at the table. The two young Cratchits set chairs for everybody, not forgetting themselves, and mouthing guard upon their posts, crammed spoons into their mouths, lest they should shriek for goose before turn came to be helped. At last, the dishes were set on. A grace was said. It was succeeded by a breathless pause. As Mrs. Cratchit, looking slowly all along the carving knife, prepared to plunge it into the breast. But then she did. When she did, and when the long-expected gush of stuffing issued forth, one murmur of delight arose all round the board.
Oh, yes.
Two murmurs of delight arose all around the board, and even Tiny Tim, excited by the two young Cratchits, beat on the table with the handle of his knife and feebly cried, "Hurrah!"
Oh.
There was never such a goose. Bob said he didn't believe there ever was such a goose cooked. I don't believe there's ever been such a goose cooked. Its tenderness, flavor, size, and cheapness were in the theme of universal admiration. Eked out by applesauce and mashed potatoes, it was a sufficient dinner for the whole family. Indeed, as Mrs. Cratchit said with great delight, surveying one small atom of bone upon the dish, they hadn't ate it all at last. Yet everyone had had enough, and the youngest Cratchits in particular were steeped in sage and onion to the eyebrows. But now the plates being changed by Miss Belinda, Miss Cratchit left the room alone, too nervous to bear witness, to take the pudding up and bring it in. Suppose it should not be done enough. Suppose it should break in turning out. Suppose somebody should have gone over to the wall of the backyard and stolen it while they were merry with the goose. A supposition at which the two young Cratchits became livid. All sorts of horrors were supposed. Hello! A great deal of steam. The pudding was out of the copper. A smell like washing day, which is presumably a good smell. That was the cloth. A smell like an eating house and a pastry cook's next door to each other with a laundress next door to that. That was the pudding. In half a minute, Mrs. Cratchit entered, flushed but smiling proudly, with the pudding, like a speckled cannonball, so hard and firm, blazing, and half of a quarter of ignited brandy, bedlight with Christmas holly stuck into the top. Oh, a wonderful pudding, Bob Cratchit said. Wonderful pudding, and calmly too, that he regarded as the greatest success achieved by Mrs. Cratchit since their marriage. And that includes the wedding night. Mrs. Cratchit said, that now that the weight was off her mind, she would confess she had doubts about the quality of flour. Everyone had something to say about it, but nobody said or thought it was at all a small pudding for a large family. Any Cratchit would have been blushed to hint at such a thing. At last, the dinner was all done, the cloth was cleared, the hearth swept, and the fire made up. The compound in the jug being tasted and considered perfect, apples and oranges were put upon the table and a shovel full of chestnuts on the fire. Then all the Cratchit family drew round the hearth. In what Bob Cratchit called a circle, in Bob Cratchit's elbow stood the family display of glass, 2 tumblers, and a custard cup without a handle. These held the hot stuff from the jug, however, as well as golden goblets would have done, and Bob served it out with beaming looks while the chestnuts on the fire sputtered and crackled noisily. Then Bob proposed, "A Merry Christmas to all, my dears. God bless us." Which all the family re-echoed.
Yeah.
God bless
A
us.
Merry Christmas to all,
everyone.
my dears. God bless us.
Humbug.
God bless us.
That's my line.
Said Tiny Tim, last of all. He sat very close to his father's side upon his little stool. Bob held his withered little hand in his, as if he loved the child and wished to keep him by his side, and dreaded that he might be taken from him. Scrooge raised his head speedily on hearing his own name. "Mr. Scrooge," said Bob, "I'll give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast."
The founder of the feast, indeed.
Cried Mrs. Cratchit, reddening.
I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon. I hope he's had a good appetite for it.
Brains.
"My dear," said Bob, "the children! Christmas Day!"
It should be Christmas Day, I am sure,
said she.
on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge.
Oh,
You know he is, Robert. No one knows it better than you do, poor fella.
my dear, was Bob's mild answer. Christmas Day,
I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's,
said Mrs. Cratchit.
not for his. Long life to him, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
The children drank the toast after her. It was the first of their proceedings and had no heartiness in it. Tim drank last of all, but he didn't care 2 pence for it. Scrooge was the ogre of the family. The mention of his name cast a dark shadow on the party, which was not dispelled for full 5 minutes. After it had passed away, they were 10 times merrier than before, from the mere relief of Scrooge the baleful being done with. Bob Cratchit told them how he had a situation in his eye for Master Peter, which would bring in, if obtained, 5 and 6 pence weekly. The 2 young Cratchits laughed tremendously at the idea of Peter's being a man of business, and himself looked thoroughly at the fire from between his collars, as if he were deliberating at what particular investments he should favor when he came into the receipt of that bewildering income. Martha, who was a poor apprentice at a milliner's, then told them what kind of work she had to do, and how many hours she worked at a stretch, and how she meant to lie abed tomorrow morning for a good long rest, tomorrow being a holiday she passed at home. Also how she had seen a countess and a lord some days, a countess even, and a lord some days before, and how the lord was much about as tall as Peter, at which Peter pulled up his collar so high you could have seen his head if you had been there. Couldn't have seen it even. All the time the chestnuts and the jug were round and round, and by they had a song about a lost child traveling in the snow from Tiny Tim, who had a plaintive little voice and sang it very well indeed.
Wildfire. Just no.
There was nothing of high mark in this. They were not a handsome family. They were not well dressed. The shoes were far from being waterproof, and the clothes were scanty. And Peter might have known, and very likely did, the inside of a pawnbroker's. But they were happy, grateful, pleased with one another, and contented with the time. And when they faded, and looked happier yet in the bright sprinklings of the spirit's torch parting, Scrooge had his eye upon them, and especially on Tiny Tim, until the last. It was a great surprise to Scrooge, might have been
Stooge.
as the scene vanished. Now, to hear a hearty laugh. I don't have the tablet to hear a hearty laugh. It was a much greater surprise to Scrooge to recognize it was his own nephew's. You'll have to wait, I'm narrating. And to find himself in a bright, dry, gleaming room with the spirit standing smiling by his side and looking at the same nephew. It is a fair, even-handed, noble adjustment of things, that while there is infection and disease and sorrow, there's nothing in the world so irresistibly contagious as laughter and good humor. When Scrooge's nephew laughed, Scrooge's niece by marriage laughed as heartily as he, and their assembled friends, being not a bit behindhand, of course,
Yes.
laughed out lustily.
He said that Christmas was a humbug, as I live.
Cried Scrooge's nephew.
He believed it too.
Am I the niece? Oh, yes, I am.
I think
I don't
Yeah,
know.
of course. Why wouldn't
Yes,
I be? No, I'm just
wife.
kidding.
Whoa.
More
Guy.
shame for him, Fred.
Said Scrooge's definitely niece indignantly.
Bless those women.
No,
They never do
no,
anything.
No.
I think that's
still the
narration.
narrator.
Oh, you're right.
That's
There's not.
just-
Okay, just kidding.
Yep.
The narrator's about to
Women.
get very insulting.
That's still the narrator. Okay,
Just more shame for him, Fred.
where's the quotation mark?
No,
Bless those
this is
women.
the Dickens self-insert, okay? Like,
Oh my
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Ooh.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It gets
Said
even
Scrooge
worse.
Yep.
indignantly. Bless those women. They never do anything by halves. They are always in earnest. She was very pretty, exceedingly pretty, with a dimpled, surprised-looking, capital face, a ripe little mouth that seemed made to be kissed, as no doubt it was, all kinds of good little dots about her chin that melted into one another when she laughed, and the sunniest pair of eyes you ever saw on any creature's little head. Although she was what you would have called provoking, but satisfactory too. Oh, perfectly satisfactory.
Great. He's a comical old fellow.
Said Scrooge's nephew.
That's the truth. And not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? You don't lose much of a dinner.
Indeed. I think he loses a very good dinner.
Interrupted Scrooge's niece. Everyone else said the same, and
Mhm.
they must be allowed
yep,
to have
yep.
incompetent
Mhm,
judges,
yes, mhm.
because they had just had dinner, and with dessert upon the table were clustered round the fire by lamplight.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it,
Said Scrooge's nephew.
because I haven't had any great faith in these young housekeepers. What do you say, Topper?
Topper clearly had an eye on one of Scrooge's niece's sisters, for he answered that a bachelor was a wretched outcast who had no right to express an opinion on the subject. Whereat Scrooge's niece's sister said that 5 times fast.
Scrooge's niece's
sister.
Scrooge's Stooges Scrooges.
Yeah, right? Scrooge's niece's sister, the plump one with the lace tucker, not the one with the roses, mind you.
Oh, right.
Blush.
Who's got it?
After the tea, they had some music, but they were a musical family and knew what they were about when they sung a glee or a catch. I can assure you, especially Topper, who could growl away in the bass like a good one and never swell the large vein in his forehead or get red all over the face over it. But they didn't devote the whole evening to music. After a while, they played at forfeits, for it is good to be children sometimes, and never better at Christmas, where its mighty founder was a child himself. There was first a game at blind man's buff, though, and I no more believe Topper was really blinded than I believe he had eyes in his boots, because the way in which he went after that plump sister in the lace tucker was an outrage on the credulity of human nature. Knocking down the fire irons, tumbling over the chairs, bumping up against the piano, smothering himself among the curtains. Wherever she went, there went he. He always knew where the plump sister was, he wouldn't reach anybody else. If you had fallen up against him, as some of them did, and stood there, he would have made a feint of endeavoring to seize you, which would have been a reply to and an affront to your understanding, and would instantly have sidled off in the direction of the plump sister.
This update brought to you by TMZ.
All right, Stooge, you're up.
Stooge, this is you.
Oh, it's actually me.
Yeah.
I knew that. I just wanted to test you all. Here's a new game. Waiting. Just waiting. Russ. Any day now.
I said Scrooge.
Oh, you did? We didn't hear
Oh,
it. We didn't hear
we
it.
didn't hear it.
It got audio
We
gated.
didn't hear it, so it didn't happen.
One half hour spirits only one. One ping only, Vasily.
Being only Vasily.
One ping only. It was a game called Yes and No, where Scrooge's nephew had to think of something, and the rest might find out what, he only answering to their questions, yes or no, as the case was. This would be later called 20 questions. The fire of questioning to which he was exposed elicited from him that he was thinking of an animal, a live animal, rather a disagreeable animal, a savage animal, an animal that growled and grunted sometimes, and talked sometimes, and lived in London, and walked about the streets, and wasn't made a show of, and wasn't led by anybody, and didn't live in a menagerie, and was never killed in a market, and was not a horse or an ass or a cow or a bull or a tiger or a dog or a pig or a cat or a bear.
It's 21 questions, I guess.
Oh,
Every new question put to him,
Foreshadowing.
this nephew burst into a fresh roar of laughter and was so inexpressibly tickled that he was obliged to get up off the sofa and stamp. At last, the plump sister cried out,
I have found it out! I know what it is, Fred! I know what it is!
As we all look to see who Fred is.
"Who's
That's,
Fred?"
that's Fred is the nephew. Fred's the nephew, Zach.
Oh, I'm Fred.
Yeah, you're Fred.
I'm Fred. Oh. What
Hello,
is it?
Fred.
It's your Uncle Scrooge!
Ha ha!
Oh.
Hey!
The 100% emoji. Admiration was the sentiment, though some objected that the reply to "Is it a bear?" ought have been yes.
God damn it!
well, I
There's
don't
20
think so.
questions.
No.
Fail.
No.
Uncle Scrooge had imperceptibly become so gay and light of heart that he would have drank to the unconscious company in an inaudible speech. But the whole scene passed off in the breath of the last word spoken by his nephew, and he and the spirit were again upon their travels. Much they saw, and far they went, and many homes they visited, but always with a happy end. The spirit stood beside sick beds, and they were cheerful, on foreign lands, and they were close at home, by struggling men, and they were patient in their greater hope, by poverty, and it was rich, in the almshouse, hospital, and jail, in misery's every refuge, where vain man in his little brief authority had not made fast the door, and barred the spirit out, he left his blessing, and taught Scrooge his precepts. Suddenly, as they stood together in an open place, the bell struck 12.
Oh, sorry.
That
sorry,
you are, if
sorry,
you have
sorry,
one job,
sorry,
Arv!
sorry.
Apparently we didn't pay our sound effects tax, so
I lost count.
I did too.
That's 12.
He did it. No,
these sound effects
you,
brought
Arv.
to you by Twitch Prime. Please sub to Arvan Elron today for more sound effects like these.
35% off a gift pack of 5. Thank you.
Did 5, please.
Bell struck a baker's dozen. Scrooge looked about him for the ghost, and saw it no more. As the last stroke ceased to vibrate, he remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley, and lifting his eyes, beheld a solemn phantom, draped and hooded, coming like a mist along the ground towards him.
The last of the spirits.
The phantom slowly, gravely, silently approached. When it came near him, Scrooge bent down upon his knee, for in the air through which the spirit moved, it seemed to scatter gloom and misery. It was shrouded in deep black garment, which concealed its head, its face, its form, and left nothing of it visible save one outstretched hand. He knew no more, for the spirit neither spoke nor moved.
I am in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Ghost of the future. I fear you more than any spectre I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company, and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me?
It gave him no reply. The hand was pointed straight before them.
Yes. Lead on. Lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me. I know. Lead on, spirit.
They scarcely seemed to enter the city, for the city rather seemed to spring up about them. But there they were in the heart of it, on change amongst the merchants. The spirit stopped beside one little knot of businessmen. Observing that the hand was pointed to them, Scrooge advanced to listen to their talk. Oh, we need a great fat man.
We have one.
Oh,
That's
this
the
is
man
the
with
guy
the
with
monstrous
the
chin.
big chin. Which
Oh,
is
got it.
Russ.
That's Russ.
Which is Russ, monstrous chin guy.
Oh, I see.
Sorry, I was unprepared for great.
That's all right. You're looking for
Here
the
we go.
word no.
Oh, wait.
Said the great fat man with the monstrous chin.
Swear to God, I'm there. I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Oh, last night, I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
God knows.
Said the first with a yawn.
What
What
has he
has he-
done with his money?
Asked a red-faced gentleman.
I haven't heard.
Said the man with the large chin.
The company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know. Bye-bye.
Scrooge was first inclined to be surprised that the spirit should attach importance to a conversation apparently so trivial. But feeling assured that it must have had some hidden purpose, he set himself to consider what it was likely to be. It could scarcely be supposed to have any bearing on the death of Jacob, his old partner, for that was past, and this ghost's providence was the future. He looked about in that very place for his own image, but another man stood in his accustomed corner, and through the clock pointed to his usual time of day for being there, he saw no likeness of himself among the multitudes that poured in through the porch. It gave him little surprise, however, for he had been revolving in his mind a change of life, and he thought and hoped he saw his newborn resolutions carried out in this. They left this busy scene and went into an obscure part of town, to a low shop where iron, old rags, bottles, bones, and greasy offal were brought. A gray-haired rascal of great age sat smoking his pipe. Scrooge and the Phantom came into the presence of this man, just as a woman with a heavy bundle slunk into the shop. But she was scarcely entered when another woman, similarly laden, came in too, and she was closely followed by a man in faded black. After a short period of blank astonishment in which the old man with the pipe had joined them, they all three burst into a laugh. Woman who enters first. I don't know.
I think it's the charwoman.
Charwoman,
That
which
Let's
is Indy.
wait.
Which is
Russ.
India.
Mhm.
Oh, it's Indy. I'm sorry.
But it's a
Yeah, let the charwoman alone to be the first, and that is you. Like
Oh, that
She-
is the
she's
she's
referring to
talking about
herself.
herself.
Yeah.
Got it, got it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Let the charwoman alone to be the first.
She cried, who had entered first.
Let the laundress alone to be the second, and let the undertaker's man alone to be the third. Look here, old Joe, here's the chance. We haven't all three met here without meaning it.
You couldn't have met in a better place. You were made free of it long ago, you know, and the other two ain't strangers. What have you got to sell? What have you got to sell?
Half a minute's patience, Joe, and you shall see.
I think it's still her
Would it be
because
an
the
event?
the
It is.
following paragraph is then Mrs. Dilber. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so what odds then is still her?
What odds then? What odds, Mrs. Dilber?
said the woman.
Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
Miss Dilber, whose manners was remarkable for general proprietation, said, No, indeed, madam. If he
we
wanted
have-
to keep him, is that yeah?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
I
I
know.
don't know
think
who it is.
I think this is still the charwoman followed by Mrs. Dilber again.
That makes sense. No,
Okay.
indeed, madam.
If he wanted to keep him after he was dead, a wicked old screw, why wasn't he natural in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd have someone to look after him when he was struck with death. Instead of lying gasping out on last there, alone by himself.
It is the truest word that ever was spoken. It's a judgment on him.
I wish it was a little heavier judgment. It should have been. You depend on it. If I lay my hands on anything else, open that bundle, old Joe. Let me see the value of it.
All right.
Speak out plain.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of first, nor afraid them to see it.
God damn it, old Joe.
Joe went down on his knees for the greater convenience of opening the bundle and dragged out a very large and heavy roll of some dark stuff.
Where you go this?
No, that's Joe.
No, this is. I could. What do
Some
you
real
call
dark
this?
stuff.
What do you call this? Bed curtains.
And that's you, Andy. The bed curtains.
Oh, bed curtains. Don't drop that all upon the blankets now.
These blankets?
Whose else do you think? He's likely to take cold down him, I dare say. Ah, you may look through that short to your eyes, ain't? But you'll find a hole in it. No threadbare place. It's the best he had, and a fine one, too. You'd waste it by dressing him up in it if it hadn't been for me.
Scrooge listened to this dialogue in horror. Rob has a new favorite character.
Yeah. Or perhaps a new favorite voice actor, I think.
If I hadn't been reading it, I wouldn't have caught a fucking word of it. And it's
None of it made any sense.
I loved it.
There was British.
It
Like a
matches
Guy
so well.
Ritchie movie,
There
you
was-
have to
there
have the
was-
subtitles on.
There was British, there was Bayou, and there was Do Not Give a Fuck, and I loved all three
All the
choices.
sass, yeah.
It was just not a consonant to be found. Sorry, moving
Guess
on.
what? You listened to this dialogue in horror.
And that's why I can't move on. Give me a second.
I love it.
Oh God, you're destroying me, Indy. Okay,
I see.
I'm a professional. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. Spirit, I see. I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. My life tends that way now. Merciful heaven, what is this?
The scene had changed, and now he almost touched a bare, uncertain bed. A pale light rising in the outer air fell straight down upon his bed.
Where did
and
this
on
elf
it,
come from?
unwatched, unwept, uncared for, was the body of this plundered, unknown man.
Spirit. Let me see some tenderness connected with this, with a death. Very dark, this death. Let me see some tenderness connected with a death. Or this dark chamber spirit will be forever present to me.
The ghost conducted him to poor Bob Cratchit's house, the dwelling he had visited before, and found the mother and the children seated around the fire. Quiet, very quiet. The noisy little Cratchits were as still as statues in one corner, and sat looking up at Peter, who had a book before him. The mother and her daughters were engaged in needlework, but surely they were very quiet.
This is Peter, theoretically. Do we have a Peter?
I don't think we have a Peter. I'll be the Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
And he took a child and set him in the midst of them.
Sorry.
Oh,
Making a note.
yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
Where had Scrooge heard these words? He had not dreamed of them. The boy must have read them out as he and the spirit crossed the threshold. Why did he not go on? The mother laid her work upon the table and put her hands to her face.
I think you're the mother.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, that's right, because this is Miss Cratchit. The colour hurts my eyes, she said. The colour? Oh, poor Tiny Tim. They're better now again. Makes them weak by candlelight, and I wouldn't show weakness to your father when he comes home for the world. It must be near his time,
Past it, rather.
Peter answered, shutting up his book.
Shut up. But I think he's walked a little slower than he used. These few last evenings, Mother.
I have known him walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulders very fast indeed,
And so have I.
cried Peter.
Often.
And
Then-
so have I.
Yeah,
Exclaimed another.
Who are
So
you?
had all.
He's another.
Another.
Where did you come from?
Yeah.
Is that Miss Cratchit?
Yeah, it's Mrs. Cratchit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was very light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble. Oh, and there's your father at the door. She hurried out to meet him, and little Bob in his comforter, he had need of it, poor fellow, came in. His tea was ready for him on the hob, and they all tried who should help him to it most. The two young Cratchits got up on his knees and laid, each child, a little cheek against his face, as if they said, "Don't mind it, father. Don't be grieved." Bob was very cheerful with them, and spoke pleasantly to all the family. He looked at the work upon the table and praised the industry and speed of Miss Cratchit and the girls. They would be done long before Sunday, he said. Sunday?
That's Mrs. Yeah.
Yeah, you went in today then, Robert,
Yes, my dear.
returned Bob.
I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would work there on a Sunday. My little child. My little child.
He broke down all at once. He couldn't help it. If he could have helped it, he and his child would have been far apart. Would have been farther apart, perhaps, than they were,
Spectre,
said Scrooge.
something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me what man that was with the covered face, whom we saw lying dead.
The ghost of Christmas yet to come conveyed him to a dismal, wretched churchyard. The spirit stood among the graves and pointed down to one.
Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be? Or are they the shadows of things that may be only?
Still, the ghost pointed downward to the grave by which it stood.
Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, to which, if preserved in, they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it thus, with what you show me.
The spirit was immovable as ever. Scrooge crept towards it, trembling as he went, and following the finger read upon the stone of the neglected grave his own name, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Am I that man who lay upon the bed? No, No, Spirit. Oh, no, 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 Spirit. Hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been, but for this intercourse. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Assure me that yet I may change these shadows you have shown me by an altered life.
For the first time, the kind hand faltered.
I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
Holding up his hand in one last prayer to have his fates reversed, he saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. Yes, and the bedpost was his own. The bed was his own, the room his own. Best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own, to make amends in. He was checked into his transports by the church's ringing out the lustiest pells he had ever heard. Give me that lust.
Oh, yeah. Those are some lusty peels right there.
Running to the window, he opened it up and put out his head. No fog, no
Hey, yo.
no
Greg,
night.
Greg.
Clear,
Contain yourself.
bright, stirring golden day.
Lusty, lusty,
Very un-London-y day.
lusty peels.
Yeah.
What did I?
Cried Scrooge, calling downward to a boy in Sunday clothes, who perhaps had loitered in to look about him.
We need a.
I could be.
Go
Okay.
for it.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, P.
Eh?
What today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Hello. Do you know the poulterers in the next street but one at the corner?
I should hope I did.
An intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
What, the big one, as big as me?
As big as you. What a delightful boy. It is a pleasure talking to him. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now.
Go and buy it.
Walker?
Exclaimed the boy.
No. I am in earnest. Go and buy it and tell him to bring it here, that I may give them the direction where to take it. Come back with the man, and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes, and I'll give you half a crown.
The boy was off like a shot.
I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. You shan't know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Joe Miller never made such a joke as sending to Bob's. Let me try that one more time. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He shan't know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Joe Miller never made such a joke as sending it to Bob's will be.
The hand in which he wrote the address was not a steady one, but write it he did, somehow, and went down the stairs to open the street door, ready for the coming of the poulterer's man. It was a turkey. He never could have stood up upon its legs, that bird. He would have snapped him short off in a minute, like sticks of sealing wax. Scrooge dressed himself, all in his best, and at last got out onto the streets. The people were by this time pouring forth, as he had seen them with the ghost of Christmas present, and walking with his hands behind him, Scrooge regarded every one with a delighted smile. He looked so irresistibly pleasant, in a word, that 3 or 4 good-humored fellows said,
Good morning,
sir. Oh, thank you. Yes,
Good
please.
morning, sir.
What does the good-humored fellow say?
Good morning, sir. A Merry Christmas to you.
Hello, Merry Christmas to you, sir.
And Scrooge said often afterwards that of all the blithe sounds he had ever heard, these were the blithiest to his ears.
The blithiest.
In the afternoon, he
blithiest,
turned his
blithiest.
steps towards his nephew's house. He passed the door a dozen times before he had the courage to go up and knock, but he made a dash and did it.
Is your master at home, my dear?
Said Scrooge to the girl. Nice girl, very. Yes, sir.
Where is he, my love?
He's in the dining room, sir, with his mistress.
He knows me.
Said Scrooge with his hand already on the dining room lock.
I'll go in here, my dear.
Fred?
I think that's Scrooge, actually.
Oh, he just keeps going. I got it.
Fred!
Bless my soul.
Cried Fred.
Who's that?
It's I, your Uncle Scrooge. I have come to dinner. Will you let me in, Fred?
Despite the quotes, that is actually the narrator.
Yeah.
Oh, let him in. It is a mercy he didn't shake his arm off. He was at home in 5 minutes. Nothing could be heartier. His niece looked just the same. So did Topper when he came in. So did the plump sister when she came in. So did everyone when they came. Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful
Unanimity.
yeah, sure. Wonderful happiness. But he was early at the office next morning. Oh, he was early there. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming in late, that was the thing he had set his heart upon. And he did it. The clock struck 9. No Bob. A quarter past. No Bob. Bob was full 18 minutes and a half late behind his time.
God damn,
Scrooge
Bob.
sat with his door open wide, and he might have seen him come into the tank. Bob's hat was off before he opened the door, his comforter too. He was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away with his pen as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock.
Hello.
Growled Scrooge in his accustomed voice, as near as he could feign it.
What do you mean by coming here at this time of day?
I am very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
You are? Yes, I think you are. Step this way, if you please.
Oh, it's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend. I am not going to stand this sort of thing any longer, and therefore...
Scrooge continued, leaping from his stool and giving Bob such a dig in the waistcoat that he staggered back into the tank again.
And therefore, I am about to raise your salary.
Bob trembled and got a little nearer to the ruler.
A Merry Christmas, Bob!
Said Scrooge with an earnestness that could not be mistaken as he clapped him on the back.
A merrier Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I have given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family, and we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop, Bob. Make up the fires and buy a second coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became a good friend, as good as master, as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but his own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived in the respect upon the total abstinence principle ever afterwards, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us.
God bless us.
Everyone.
We did it!
We did it!
We did it.
Oh,
Oh,
we got a
thank you,
hype
Shadow
train.
Major. We got 5
Yeah.
tier 1 sub gift pack from Shadow. Thank
Woo,
you,
thank
Shadow.
you.
That was
Hey, we have our sound effects budget for next year.
New bell. Make it a cowbell.
New bells. amazing stuff. And some new. It was fun to see some new people, like new for different parts. You know, that were working on stuff too, in addition to the regulars. Can I give a shout out, by the way, to Russ and you doing the narration of part 2? We're so into it. It was awesome. It's just kind of like, you're just like, and then it was an outrage. Like stuff. Cracking me
I was
up.
having deja vu of describing the meal in a previous year, and I was like, "Oh, this meal, this super
This meal.
described meal."
Oh
Yeah.
God.
And if you think that part is crazy, I did the narration for that scene when we did the extended version.
Oh my god.
And the turkey and the thing and the stuff and the business and the bun.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
That scene is always long.
thank you, shout out for that, and thank you, all of you, for being amazing. That was so great. I feel like Christmas, like the entire holiday season, can't fully start for me in December until we get this done. So like having this.
Well,
done,
hey, we
like,
did it at the top of the month.
We did
just
the top
for you.
of the month. That's true. Just for
Hey.
me. But thank you. It was amazing to hear this done again. It's also I always feel like it's a very warm feeling too when you have a whole group of people that are all invested in it together and in chat. Like that's what it's about, right? You know, enjoying.
Is this the
having
biggest
fun with
cast
each
we've
other.
had for this?
Yes, we have never
The
had.
largest cast I've
amazing.
ever been a part of. Yeah.
Largest
This is
cast ever.
this is the size we needed. We needed a couple of years.
Yeah. It was, and again, and thank you to Dot for thank you to Zach for taking such copious notes earlier.
Notes.
and
And
to
now
Dot for
I've
being
doubled
like
down on his
this
notes,
and
so you can
quoted
take
it.
those, Zach, and run
Yes.
with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it was amazing.
You didn't know this show needed a couple of stage managers, but now
Yeah,
you do.
yeah.
Because you're like, oh wait, that guy. Wait, there's another guy. Oh, who's the other?
Oh God, who's this
I
random?
filled
Yeah,
in.
you should see what I named some of these people.
Yeah. Boy.
It was
That's
funny.
funny.
Great. It was great stuff. All right. Well, I will start with the person who was farthest away distance-wise, but not farthest away in our hearts, and that was KP.
Very
KP, great stuff out of Mr. Fezziwig. Great stuff as well
I
from
feel like
Marley.
he's frozen.
I think he is frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, he is frozen.
Oh, he is frozen.
Or
But he's very
He's
happy.
taking us out again. He's doing this again.
He's like,
This is what look. This is what happens when you stream from inside of a Christmas market for the whole stream.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
You're gonna,
correct.
you're gonna get
Totally
cold. You're gonna
legit.
catch cold. So.
But
That
KP
is
did a great.
all gingerbread. So
That's
it's
right.
like having a diabetic
Exactly.
coma. Yeah.
KP did a great job as
Kind of need
Mr.
that tech support
Fezziwig.
now, don't we?
Did a great job as Marley, and did a great job as another on several occasions.
Oh, they're Greg Camps.
Yeah, I know. I
Let
knew
me
that was
see.
going to happen.
Oh
It's
yeah. Okay,
Well, the good news is
oh,
we
this
can
is
see
great.
everybody but
Wait, I'm KP now.
Russ.
Russ and Indy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
y'all
back
get to play the
now.
game of Who's Who now. I hope
Yes.
you memorized our
I'm
names.
KP.
That's right.
I had a great time. It was
Okay.
great. This is wonderful. I'm enjoying my time in India, and hope to see you guys again soon. Great.
I apparently just rocketed to California and I'm jet lagged.
That was
Yep.
great stuff from KP. All right,
You're
I'm going to
welcome.
jump to Russ next. I mean, not Russ. To Rob next, because Rob
Hi.
should be next in the line, even though currently it's not. So
I'm Zach, by the way.
I
Nice
know
to-
exactly playing. I'm telling you right now, I'm not redoing these windows. I'm telling you right now. But Rob, great stuff as always, and great stuff as Scrooge, and definitely
Thank
with
you very
with
much.
some different choices made for Scrooge, which was fun to hear something being done a little bit differently. So that was cool too. And
I'm curious, what
yeah.
what was there one in particular that you thought was like out of the norm? Because I mean,
Well,
I have a very strange way of doing my audiobook reads, and I'm particularly thorough when it comes to intentions and the reasons why people say something or the reasons they don't say something. I try to make those things apparent in the reads.
Yeah. I think that it was. I mean, what I thought was interesting is that there's a more like, rather than just gruff and then not gruff, right? There was a sense
Yeah.
I think that like, that Scrooge is sort of playing at being fine even when he's not fine for portions of this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And like
100%.
so elements of that I think sort of come through in the performance in a cool way. And Scrooge is so familiar
means a lot.
to people that like that stuff comes through. So I thought it was good stuff. How'd you feel
It means
today,
a lot
Rob, about things?
I felt great about this. I mean, the funny thing is, I think the last time I did this part for this stream, I was in my old apartment and I was still in my 30s. So like early in my 30s. Like I think I might have been 34 or 33. And I've grown, I hope, like a lot as an actor and as an audiobook narrator and as just a voice actor in general. And this is Scrooge can be such a cliche and like so just, mad and angry and, like overdone that nuance is important, I think. And one of the things I definitely wanted to get across was he's trying to get out of this until he's not, until he realizes he can't. And then he's like, oh, wait a minute, this is gonna be really bad for me. And it's fun to play those little things, especially when it feels like, oh, I'm just watching all of this, it's just the, here is your life, but they're, FAFO, to use a term. And man, I got to tell you, I have not been in every single one of these for reasons, but I've been in most of these. And like has already been mentioned before, the holiday season really doesn't start until we do this. And this has been an amazing tradition that we do. And I hope I get to do it with y'all, old friends, new friends, and everyone in between, and people we haven't even met yet for a long time to come. So thank you for doing this every year, Arv. It really means a lot to me, and I hope it has been fun for everybody watching out there as well.
Thanks, man. And
happy holidays,
yes,
everyone.
Good stuff, Rob. KP's back with us. So KP, I get to say, I was saying you did a great job with Marley and with Mr. Fezziwig and with another, multiple versions of another. So good stuff, KP, as well. How'd you feel about this today, and any place people will be able to see you soon?
This was the tonic I needed in my heart, I think, for this year. It was
nice.
It was so nice. Just felt so good to just the story itself. I think it really serves the purpose of appreciating what we have, despite the hardships and despite everything else going on in this world, and just, really finding the warmth in this cold season, right? And I'm just genuinely blessed to have you guys in my life, and such fun things to do. It's all things I look forward to, and I'm just so grateful, I think, for it all. And yeah, I'm glad I was able to make it. And you guys were all fantastic. I really, really enjoyed listening to each and every one of you, and the variations. I think it's so fun seeing how different voice actors portray the same characters differently, and how they bring their own nuances and versions and takes to it. And as a performer and voice actor myself, with no formal training, seeing people do their versions of it is such a great learning experience for me as well. I truly enjoy listening to all you guys' performances. So thank you for that opportunity.
Oh, it was awesome. Thank you, KP, for being a part of it, and again for checking in early in the morning from India and all that, and safe travels back when you do travel back.
Will do. It'll be in the new year, but we'll be back brand and fresh and new. And I don't really have anything particularly going on just yet. I'm hoping to just tie the knot to this year as best as I can, and then start the new year fresh. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a brand new start. I'm very excited for that. I'm just hoping on a personal thing, for a really good news to happen by the end of this week. So just keep your fingers crossed for me for that. But outside of that, I think I'm good.
Thank you, KP. I appreciate it, man. KP,
may I
and
just
Rob,
quickly mention one thing?
Yep.
I didn't mention this before. A lot of you who know Arv already know where you could find me on Twitch, but I just wanted to put my link tree in the
good call.
comment section. If you want to know where you can find me, that has everything in it. It makes life really easy.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Rob. Indy, great stuff as well. I know you always enjoy doing the narration, but can I say that I appreciated the full-throated embrace of the Ghost of Christmas Present. You just gotta know me better, man. It was really great. Everyone loves the Ghost of Christmas Present, but I appreciated you really throwing yourself into it. There is something about the energy and vitality of that character that I think when people really invest themselves in it, as all of you in different ways who have played that part have done over the years, it really makes a difference. And so this was no different. It was good stuff, Indy. Good work there, and also good work from Tiny Tim, the most feeble, and also know me better. Like, very big difference. How'd you feel about tonight? Thank you, Indy, for good stuff. And how'd you feel about today and all that? And where can folks see you?
It was a blast. I feel like I didn't really play anything like this before, so it was a nice, very broad range of activity, which was quite enjoyable. I personally, I think I enjoyed Charwoman the most.
Yeah,
that was
that was
That was so good.
Yeah, that was
also
great.
enjoyed the
So
fact-
good.
Like, take his stuff. He's dead. He won't need
It's
it.
like,
You broke me with that one.
come on, old Joe. Come on,
I'm
Joe. Come
honored.
on, Joe.
Yeah, it was good, but yeah, a blast. Everyone just enjoyed. I mean, echoing just what you guys have already said. Just it's a joy and a privilege to be with such wonderful people and seeing how you all embrace your talents in different ways. As for me, just as you see the chat, twitch.tv/indie, and yeah, appreciate you all.
Good stuff. Thanks, Indy. I appreciate it, my friend. Moving right on up and over again as I'm trying to go in reverse order. So Dot, I think was it Dot or was it Trent that I did next? I think it was Dot.
It was Dot.
Sure.
Dot again. First of all, again, as I said, thanks for holding together and keeping all the parts out there.
Yeah,
but also really good stuff with both the niece, obviously, and being able to do that, and obviously with Mrs. Cratchit. I was thinking about the fact that there's a kind of getting something that can sort of provide a little bit of the sense of Mrs. Cratchit is not just I'm hanging out and saying, good things for my husband, but that, this is also about, especially in that last scene, her own grief, right, over the loss of her son.
Yeah.
And that I think sometimes gets lost because there's so much emphasis on poor Bob Cratchit. And, everybody loves Bob Cratchit, but the whole family has lost someone. And obviously his mother has lost her child. And I will officially say as a parent that it is not easy to read or hear that section being read and not have a little bit of an extra breath taken thinking about your own situation. So I appreciated that you brought that vibe to it, as well as hanging out and laughing with us with everything else. So thank you, Dot, for all that. How'd you feel about tonight? Where might the folks find you?
It's
elsewhere?
always one of the best holiday presents to get to come and do this show. I hate that I have not been able to do it the last couple years, but it worked out this year. So, total blessing. So as always, it's just great. It's so nice because I don't make a lot of content anymore. So I'm not even going to tell you where you can find me because the only thing you're going to see are pictures of my nephew and cat memes. But if you want to support me, if you want to support the things I care about this holiday season, you should go buy a book from a tabletop company because we are all super duper struggling because it is a horrible economy. Look at Arv being the perfect Vanna White. You could actually go get this cozy little RPG, which is actually based on Wind in the Willows, put out by Kobold Press, cough cough, the company that I work for. It's brand new, it's wonderful, and is a great gift for even the non-tabletop gamer because it's so kind of focused on the Edwardian time and the kind of slice of life gameplay. But yeah, if you want to support me, please go support a tabletop company. Specifically, Kobold Press would be super awesome. This holiday season, and we got some really cool stuff out there for you to gift, whether it's your GM, your player, or you're just trying to convince everybody in your life that they need to play with you. We've got something for everybody. So yeah, so go check out Kobold Press. And like I said, if you want to find me, I'm Little Red Dot everywhere. Actually, that's not true. I forgot. I have a show. I got asked to be a GM live.
Oh,
again,
cool.
for the first time, and because I haven't had the time. Yeah, I've been running a lot of private games. You can check me out actually Monday of next week. I'm doing a 2-part Alien game. Set right after the events of the third film, Aliens 3, on the prison planet. Yeah. And if y'all know anything about me, y'all know I love the alien world. So you should check it out over on Vancouver by Night. I'll be running a 2-part Alien game, and it kicks off Monday. So yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I was going to say, don't bury the lead.
There
That's
is
good
something
stuff.
I
Yeah,
can plug. I don't
yeah.
usually have anything to plug. I can plug that.
Hey. No,
I'm
that's
so
great.
happy. If I can just interject as someone who's had the privilege of Dot being my DM, it is a masterful experience. It is a magical experience. Please go watch. If nothing else, for Dot's performance as a GM, because
I
holy
promise I'm going to
crap.
kill them. A lot of them.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be the
great.
best killings ever. But yes, please do go check it out. Because yeah. If you
Aw,
like
thanks,
this,
KP.
it is an extension of this, and So
Yeah,
I can
several
say the
people.
same.
I was going to say there's several people in this call have been players in those camps.
Oh yeah, and Zach, you
Oh, yeah.
actually played Alien with me for a very, very long
Yeah.
time. So yeah, they're actually starting exactly where our game started, but they're going to be a different crew
Ooh.
transporting something else.
Oh, amazing.
Because if y'all
That's
didn't
awesome.
know, if you want to know how fucking nerdy I am about the Alien game, there's a lot of Alien games I've run out on
Oh,
the
yeah.
internet. Every Alien game I ever run, whether it's private or public, all is part of a larger kind of
Same
like timeline of
universe. The
my
dot
personal
verse.
story, the dot verse of the Alien lore
Yeah.
world. And so this is just adding to that larger puzzle.
Very cool. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it all brought together at some point. I thought you were going to say every one of my games begins with a ship transporting something somewhere, and I'm like, all right.
Well,
I
because
I respect it. Like,
sometimes, in this case, yes.
that's awesome, though.
My also ulterior motive for all of this is that the more you support Dot, the more chances I'll have to be back in a very particular game and universe that I very, very much love, and I want to be back in it. And Dot knows exactly which one I'm talking about.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that we can do it again in the future. But yes.
Good stuff. Thank you, Dot. And please don't be a stranger if ever time allows and you feel like jumping in and guest starring during
Well,
the
what
year.
you fail to tell them,
you know.
Marv, is I'm constantly in your DMs going, y'all need to play this game. Here's a game
That's-
for our vocalists. Play this.
that's
I've already
true.
dropped another one today
That
for
is
you.
true.
We got to talk about it after we're off screen.
I know. I heard. Yeah, I heard
always
a little
here
bit
in
about it.
spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
No,
always
I
here in
know.
spirit.
And I appreciate that. Thank you, Dot. Good stuff today. Tren, again, as someone who has been doing this also for a very long time with a lot of different characters, enjoyed this as well. And it was funny because I've been listening, of course, to Tren doing the different parts of my Grey Shade and Renegade and Heretic books. And so one of the characters in that book is a character, Karen. And when you were doing the Ghost of Christmas Past, I kept thinking of at some point Christmas Past being like, I just showed you about the way things are, Grey Shade. I just got this image in my mind. You were going to be throwing that up there. But it was fun seeing you do something which I don't know if you've done the Ghost of Christmas Past before, but if so, I didn't recall it in this way. And that was fun hearing you do something in a little bit of a different way. And of course, getting us started with the narration at the beginning as well was amazing too. So as always, Trent, thank you. Any thoughts about this evening and where people might be able to see you next?
No, not really.
What about them audiobooks you're working on?
Yeah, but people won't
Yeah.
see me in the audiobooks. So
Can we hear you
So
somewhere,
we hear
Trent?
your glorious
probably.
voice.
I mean, if you want to hear me, well, yeah, then there's that. So obviously the Gray Assassin trilogy will soon be done. And then I've got a whole bunch more BattleTech to do. I've got some more of the Valdemar series.
Oh yeah,
stuff, compilations from Mercedes Lackey and Fiona Patton is the one I'm specifically narrating for here in the next few days. Also, in the next few days, my next narration for Pseudopod will be up.
Nice.
And that'll be the third entry in the kind of werewolf Thanksgiving werewolf stories that I've been narrating once a year at Thanksgiving. But the thing should be up this week, I think, on Pseudopod. And they approached me yesterday. Cat Day was like, "Hey, do you want to narrate a non-werewolf story?" I'm like, "No, what the hell's wrong with you? Why would I?" Yes, I'll do it. That's fine. But it's something from John Wiswell.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah. I narrated one of his stories before called "The Coward That Stole God's Name," and that was a really fun read.
Yeah.
That was a couple of years ago, though. But yeah, I thought tonight was really, really a lot of fun. It always is. I mean, as many people have mentioned, it's like this is kind of the point where the holiday season sort of starts. For some people, who are just horrible human beings, it's Mariah Carey. But for us, it's this.
Or Whamageddon,
yeah. Oh,
she's free.
Exactly. It's like the White Walkers. Just no.
Mariah's coming.
She's like the next, like some kind of a xenomorph variant. With some of the high pitched screeches that they do too.
The notes that she can hit are not supposed to be produced by humans. Yeah.
Exactly, and they're not. They're produced by whatever she is. Anyway,
wow.
Sorry.
What else? Next time you'll see me, we'll probably be here for D&D. later this month?
Yes.
I mean, there's really not much of a year left aside from this month. So yeah, it would be what that thing with stuff and crap and yeah. Blah.
It's good. Thank you, Trent. Good stuff as always, and thank you for being a part of this for so many years.
Is he gonna do it?
Oh, not right this second.
Oh,
Do it now.
Ghost of Christmas shaving has arrived.
Christmas face to come. I mean,
we've gone from A Christmas Carol to Sweeney Todd.
Ooh. Yes, my beautiful friend.
These are my friend.
Good stuff.
Yeah, if I plug into this outlet here, it'll blow the
let's
circuit breaker for this whole.
Let's not do that before I I have to recapture those windows again.
Exactly.
But always a pleasure, Trent. And last two, certainly last but certainly not least. First of all, Zach, I know you were dealing with a cold this time, so I appreciate that you stuck it out. We got a great old Joe. We got, I loved, by the way, the accent of Scrooge's betrothed, like the beloved back in the past.
That
was nice. We got a little bit of
nice
a little bit of a lilt that I really thought was cool. And I don't believe you've done that before. And then, of course, obviously Scrooge's nephew, which is there's got to be a sort of playing almost a straight man to Scrooge's, like rah, 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 rah. So that was a lot of fun to see too. So thank you, Zach, for doing that. How'd any thoughts about this evening, and where will folks see you once you are recovered? That is.
No, it was a great time. It's so wonderful to see and to work and perform with all of you. It's a lot of fun, all the different interpretations, and every year when we do this, what I get from the Christmas Carol is a little different, and I'd like certain lines jump out at me more, or if I'm have watched certain movies or played certain video games that had themes that were similar, I'm like, oh, that's like this, and then I didn't notice it before. So it's just a great story, some old writing that I think we should keep more of this old writing around and not let it fade into apocrypha. And so I think it was a great time. People will find me here for Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks, a number of things. Expedition, which is our sci-fi D&D Esper Genesis campaign. Arvocalists, of course. Right now we are voicing characters in Citizen Sleeper 2, which is another amazingly well-written game.
Yeah,
super
it's a
dramatic.
great game.
We enjoy it a lot. There's that. Greg and I also do a vodcast that's going to be resurrected somewhat in the new year, called Gen GMs. We're generational GMs because we are of two different generations, talking about GMing tips and things like that. You'll also find me, I have a website, zachclay.com. I do all sorts of different stuff. Now that the year's coming to a close, I did GM on Critical Role earlier this year, so if you wanted to see that, that's on my website.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I have other things that are involving D&D that are coming up, but right now my main thing is running a teen internship mentorship program in San Francisco. The city is paying me and paying teens to learn how to DM, and then they are DMing a group of we have roughly 36 kids that are coming every Sunday to play D&D in the city, and
Nice.
yeah, that's great. Along with all my other random one-shot clients and campaigns and stuff. So, but yeah, that's where you'll find me. And my voice is finally leaving me, so I'm going to stop talking. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it. Also, it looks like we're going to talk about this tomorrow night, but it looks like we'll be able to hopefully get Zach in continue our Gloomhaven playthrough too.
That's right.
So we might do that later this month too.
Gloomhaven.
So, but thanks, Zach, and thank you for hanging in there. And last but certainly not least, Russ, as I said, really, really enjoyed a lot of the stuff. I always enjoy the stuff that you do, but I was really enjoying I was really enjoying the narration in that second stanza, just because of the investment in it was really great.
How excited Dickens is about the dinner.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like he's like, yo,
Very
this is
excited
amazing.
about it.
Well, but again, like that and that too, because this is a guy who's spent much of his childhood starving. Like this guy with food insecurity and the whole bit. Like,
luxury was food.
Yeah,
right?
like so in a way, it really is kind of like that. Like this was Bob Cratchit and his family, basically. So you did a wonderful job with that, as always, Russ. How did you, any thoughts about tonight, and where might folks track you down on these here internets?
Oh, wonderful, warm remembrances of many years of our vocalist pasts. Great to play with Indy and KP for the first time. I know you guys are a laugh riot in the contemporary Our Vocalists. Yeah, it's funny that we're doing this because I'm like steeped in Victorian London things right now since we're producing a Threepenny Opera at my improv theater.
Yeah.
I'm directing and playing the haggard Jonathan Jeremiah Peacham, who runs the mafia for homeless hobos, the Beggars Guild. It's a good time, and everyone's a criminal in their own way. So we're doing that in February. You can check out my Instagram for various tips on improv and physical presence and Meisner and how to function on stage. It's just Instagram/Russ Guberman. And the various other genre shows that we tour around with. They're all referenced on there too. But it was great. Thanks for having me back again, Arv.
Hey, always a pleasure, man. And we owe each other a catch up session and some return to Moria.
The dwarves in Moria.
I want to do it.
Have not dug in some time.
We need to do some digging. I agree. But chat, can we get some love for a group of people I am really honored to be able to bring on this channel every year? It's a real honor. Thank you to Russ, to Zach, to Tren, to Dot, to Indy, to Rob, and to KP. Wonderful work from all of them. Thank you so much, everybody, and happy holidays and all that kind of good stuff. And I will see you folks down the line.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Everyone.
Oh man, such a pleasure to be able to do this every year, and I am a huge fan. Part of this is the being an academic, I suppose. This is something that milestones matter to me. And they've always been a big thing for me, being able to do them and know that I get to different sections. And so, I hit the Halloween time and I'm like, I get to do the Edgar Allan Poe reading. And then we have, if you think about it from the beginning of the year, we have the first couple of months where we sort of get things established. Then we have, obviously, we line up for Arvcon, which is a big deal for the channel. And that's obviously really important for many reasons. And then we move along to the summer and we have some convention shows and things like that and some live, broadcasts from those places usually. Then we head into September. We get the Subathon, the Arvathon, which we've done the last few years. Then October with the Halloween show and with the Edgar Allan Poe reading. And then we move into November, not a specific show usually, but just sort of giving thanks for everything, I suppose. And then we hit December and we get this Christmas Carol reading with the Arvocalists and then the holiday show with my family and the end of the year show. So I always appreciate that. And you folks all make it a big part of why I love doing it so much, because obviously I love hanging with my friends and I love spending time with all of you because I know a number of people come back and look forward to this every year, and we've been doing it for a lot of years now, and that's great. I think that God knows we have enough negative milestones at times in our lives. It's good to have good positive ones too, especially around the holiday time, which is not always easy for people, but this, I hope, is one that everyone can feel comfortable about and good about one way or the other. So in that spirit, I am extremely grateful to the Arvocalists, both past and present, and thank you so much to all of them again for being as amazing as they are. That, however, is going to do it for me after a long day of streaming, and I'm going to rise up on out. I do think we're going to do a raid today because we have a decent number of people, and it's not crazy late, so we are going to do that. Before I go, I do want to mention, first of all, thank you again to Shadowed Mage for that 5 gift sub, that 5-pack of gift subs, which was 35% off. I'll be running a couple more of those promos as we move into December. Also going to be trying to push to get that Patreon up into triple digits again if I can, but in general, just very grateful that everyone is here. Looking forward to the rest of this week as well. On Thursday, actually tomorrow, first of all, we're going to have a return of Community D&D with the Shadow Crew. They're going to get, I believe, 3 sessions in this month. Our cup runneth over with the Community D&D. It's amazing. I'm really excited for that. And then Thursday, more of Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. We're moving into the home stretch there too. We hope to get a couple of sessions of Eberron in as we move into part 18 of these, closing in on 20 parts. So basically, this is the next to last adventure that they're going into now in this campaign. Obviously, going to do more with Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks. That is ramping up as they continue to explore that ship, that crashed freighter, that crashed starship. It'll be interesting to see what they do about that. And then, really excited for By the Dice Roll, which is going to be back next week with Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and finishing up with Beowulf either this month or next month with Tari in advance of our new thing, which is going to replace that after Beowulf is done. I sort of made a accidental announcement about it, but not any big thing. So I'm going to be making a much bigger announcement about it once we have all the players confirmed. So, but I'm very excited for that coming up in January. We have overlays and videos on the way for all the new stuff as well. So I'm very excited about all of that. But for right now, that is going to do. Yeah, I hear you, Shadowed. So if you are not a sub, when you're brought over automagically, please do stick around for the raid, and then you can head out wherever you're going to go. The Arvanets have landed, followed by Twitch raid, lowercase Twitch, uppercase R, lowercase A I D. If you are a sub, you can do this. The Arvanets have landed, Arvany Hype, Arvany Roar, Arvany Switch, Arvany Love, Arvany Blown, all the Arvanys, when you are brought over automagically to the place that we are going to raid. And actually, while I'm on that subject, let me take a look and see who we've got. Okay, I know who it's going to be, actually. Yes, I know what we're looking at for the raid, so that'll be good. So please do stick around for that raid, because it'll be worth your while, I think. And otherwise, I will see you folks on Wednesday night. I've already given the things to support the channel multiple times, so I won't do it again, other than to say, please follow the channel, please follow the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, support all the things, subbing and so on, the publishing and so on. Remember, !BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Remember, !Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention, important to reach out to others when you need help, reach out to others when they need help as well. And Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And we send the message, we'll do so for others in that situation in the future. Thank you to my wonderful mods. Thank you to Prince Justin, Shadowed Mage, Triffity Mets, the best mods in the business. Thank you to my wonderful Patreon supporters and subscribers. Thank you to Prince Justin, Shadowed Mage, Triffid, Darkside Rob, Nonstop, Gaia Shield, Mrs. Dunsel, Tim Coolish, and Zach Clay. Thank you so much to all of those, and thank you to my wonderful viewers. Thank you to Airmaster, to Betrader, Dark Sinner, Dino Roar, Dr. Laser Falcon, of course, Indy, Dragtress, KP. Thank you to Jasper Kazai. Thank you to Little Red Dot. Thank you to Name Brand Lesbian, and thank you to Trendane. And a special thanks, of course, tonight to the Arvocalists. Thank you so much to Zach. Thank you to Russ. Thank you to Zach. Thank you to Dot. Thank you to Tren. Thank you to Rob. Thank you to KP. And thank you to Indy for being amazing. All amazing voice actors, all amazing people. And it's great to be able to spend time with them. And of course, to be able to spend time with you, the best community of people on Twitch. That's going to do it for me. Everyone stick around for the raid. I'll see you folks Wednesday night for Community D&D and Thursday night for more Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. Until then, I do have a raid target. Yes, indeed, I do. I do have a raid target. But everyone stick around for the raid, and then I will see all of you lovely folks soon. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other. And as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone. Have a good night. Huh?